And now, the thrilling conclusion of the beginning of the first thing that I say tonight. All right.
Yay.
Moving on from that. That was thrilling and conclusive. Cool. Here we are. Here you are, all you beautiful people out there in stream watching land. I hope you brought your snacks and beverages and dinosaur favorites. Hope you brought them. If you don't have them, next week, don't forget dinosaur favorites. Cool. So we're here, back another week, another D&D. Monday nights, the last Page. I've been saying it wrong all of these weeks. It's pronounced Page, apparently. It's a silent G. Yeah. How's everybody?
Good?
So good.
Good. Bethany, how are you?
I wish to expire every moment of every day.
Cool.
Thanks for asking.
You should put on deodorant because you're expiring so much.
I won't. What are you gonna do about it?
Smell your inferiority. All right.
I'm glad we're all being kind together, kind to each other today.
Yeah.
You get kind of beat if you're not careful.
Okay, thank you, Bethany.
Cool.
Do you have anything else you'd like to get out before we keep going?
No, that's okay.
Friendship is sharing ships. Friends. Time. All right. So, Roll20.net is a wonderful virtual tabletop program, which we have been sitting here for the last 10 minutes manipulating the source code to get certain things to work, and have added other features, which I'm sure will mildly either distract or vaguely enhance your viewing experience.
It's enhancing. I'm
It's-
immersed.
Imagine, if you will... Well, you don't have to imagine. We'll show you in a second. This game is not about imagining. If we could literally film these scenes on site with the characters, that would be much more enjoyable for everyone. Cool. Well, that being said, thank you to Roll20.net for the virtual tabletop and for having us as part of your Spotlight program. Also, thanks, Kevin McLeod. You're like our D&D free music provider for our stream. Is that
Literally.
Is that a simile?
I don't think it's a simile if it's literally true.
Okay. Potato, Dora. Potato.
Okay.
Cool.
Glad I spent all that money on a degree.
Thanks, Kevin McLeod. We will hit the track list at the end of tonight's performance. Where else we going here? Who else do we gotta thank? Not really anyone. Go check us out on YouTube. Listen to us thank the same people again and again and again. Just watch the first 10 to 1500 minutes of each thing, and you'll get the introductions. And if you watch them all, you can put together a very special puzzle that I've slowly been weaving, and it'll be really rewarding for you. So, last time, no rewards will be issued. Last time on the last Page, because I've been saying it wrong all this time.
I think that joke was better the third time I've heard it.
It only gets better.
Ages like a fine wine.
Ages like a wildfire.
What?
I don't... That's actually strangely evocative.
Listen, turn the poetry brain off.
I can't.
There'll be no evocation here. All right, last time on the last Page, I was saying it wrong all this time. I told you it gets better. The party embarked after learning quite a bit from their employer, Shavia, a reclusive, witchy-type character, out just north of the town of Krennel Bend, a small hamlet of bustling trade and travel. The party after a run-in with some tabaxi treasure hunters, came back to lick their proverbial and literal wounds, and gained some more information on their employer and what was happening with the missing year of memories from her life, which they have been employed to find out. They did dig a little bit deeper, prying themselves like a contortionist rabbit into a bottle of milk, into her personal life. Simile.
Look at that poetry.
It is simile.
And finding out some more information. Also finding some strange behavior with her servant, Ondine, who, whilst preparing a meal, looked to be perhaps enraptured by some other influences and performing a ritual involving a five-sided star and some other colored elements, which maybe, just maybe, will be relevant in the future. So, armed with new knowledge about what was going on, or at least some clues, the party departed to head to a temple about 1 day's travel north of this town of Crenelbend, and there they would investigate the last memory before the memory loss of their employer, Shavia. They found some hapless guards outside whom they dispensed of fairly completely, and made their way inside, where they found a bit more of a struggle as they were quite easily lured into a very obvious trap, and resulted in one of our party members getting something quite precious to them stolen by one of the tabaxi treasure hunters who was following them. Unable to come up with any sort of deal to strike with the treasure in Curious Kitty, he departed, taking with him Olive's sentient spellbook.
Just my best friend. It's fine.
It is fine. It's a new best friend
in
now.
the whole world.
But they were able to go forward and, through the sneakiest of sneaking, discern that there was a ritual going on. A ritual which they believe is summoning back and reassembling Orgoosh, some sort of powerful Hydra-like creature from whom Shavia used to derive her power. Patron, if you will. So, the party has sheepishly made their way down into this circular chamber area, the pool at the center with a podium upon which sits a five-pointed star, each point of the star having a sort of semicircular indentation in it. And at its center stands a woman, human, who has invited them in, needing 4 more conveniently to complete the ritual, and with no help remaining on the outside of the temple. The party, for whatever reason, has just walked in and assumed all of the other positions in the ritual ceremony. So we start tonight as you all climb up several steps to these little podiums that overlook the central point. It's only maybe about 5 feet down from where you're standing to the very shallow pond in the midst there, which comes up to sort of knee, maybe mid-thigh height if you're a little bit shorter. So we start tonight as we do. Remember the smoke itself that you had seen on the map slowly curling in towards the central location, which you believed to be perhaps the pieces of Orgoosh trying to recombine themselves, seem to have manifested coming out. You can see as they sort of drift into view better, these slowly slithering, almost fog-like entities each have a very kind of faint color to them, which I have put and exaggerated a bit so you can tell there. And as you all step to the top of the podiums, they begin to converge in closer, and the priestess sort of looks around, surveying the various acolytes and party members that have decided to participate in this ceremony. So, let us begin. She looks around. Welcome. Thank you. You are all here for a common purpose. Orgush, cast so unfairly out, unbound, in yet almost his moment of triumph, has returned and rejoined, and though we may not be able to complete the ritual in totality, we can at the very least rebind him, and with his bestowed upon blessings on all of us, perhaps restore him and complete his work, which the betrayer so selfishly destroyed. So, without question,
What's betrayer?
what is a betrayer? Well, if someone does the opposite of what you want them to do, and they don't tell you about it beforehand, that is betrayal.
Oh, but if I tell you about it beforehand, it's not betrayal.
That is correct.
But
Okay.
who betrayed our goose? Shouldn't we be on the lookout for this betrayer?
The betrayer, whose name shall not be spoken in this temple, is a target of prime importance, and should you know anything about the betrayer, perhaps where we can procure the blood of the betrayer,
If we
we
don't
could
know,
complete the ritual in its full glorious extent, and with that, we would most certainly earn the blessing of Orgush.
But how
We
are we
don't-
supposed to know if we don't know what their name is? Or who they are?
I sense that you know.
I sense that we know too. Why are we asking this question? Before we... May I say the first words?
Of what?
The ritual. I've been wanting this for a long time.
She sort of looks at you, scowls a little bit.
Bruce squints back.
Make a persuasion roll, please.
Use your goblin charm, Groost.
Oh, I got so much goblin charm. That's
He's pretty goblin charming.
She sort of narrows her eyes. If you must, there is bounty of blessing for us all from Orgush.
Okay, can we switch places?
I do not believe you have what it takes.
Don't underestimate him.
It's true. Somebody did that once. And they were white. I will begin.
What do you have to begin?
You know, knees.
She looks back at you, puzzled.
Cruz offers no further explanation.
That tracks.
Do commence the ritual.
Oh, great one. We stand here before you, ready to summon you down from where you have been lurking. I know you are mighty, and I know you are strong, and every day I live for you. So now we begin this ritual to bring you back down to earth. Maglu be it.
And with that, everything kind of goes silent as all of the acolytes and the priestess all just sort of like turn and look at you.
This isn't Maglu, it's something which will correct.
Do we start the slow cap now, or?
one of the acolytes just sort of shakes his head. No, no, Orgush.
Maybe it was
Bruce
the
turns
other
his-
temple we were supposed to go to.
Bruce turns to Zahar and he's like, does that mean we kill them all?
Yeah, I think it means we go.
Oh.
While all this is happening, the priestess has knelt down and starts muttering words, and she puts her hand to the center of the 5-pointed star there, and it sort of alights with this greenish energy that just sort of wafts out and then flows into the pool of water near you, which starts to boil and writhe, this sort of steaminess smoking up from it. And in that cloud that kind of forms like vapor off a pot of boiling water, you see this line start forming, and it extends out in a periphery through all of you, and then once the circle connects, it pops, and then all of these crisscrossing lines then connect every one of you to every other one of you. The ritual has begun. We will show you what a real god is like.
Bruce goes for a walk.
All right. You notice that the connections do follow you there, and all of you begin to hear in your minds this sort of cacophony of sort of voices and thoughts. Like you're hearing the thoughts of 8 to 10 other people all at once, and with it you get these feelings of both harmony and discord, sort of minds that are weak and afraid, others that are so blindly devout and strong in their fanaticism that they almost drown out the other voices. And you do get this sort of singular guiding voice of the priestess in your mind as you begin to just sort of see things form in together. At this point, I need all of you to do one thing for me. Oh, that's weird. If you tab out and come back, it gets all screwed up.
Yeah, I've had that problem a few times.
How did you fix it?
I just refreshed.
Ugh. Why no worky? I just have a big black and white blob on my screen now.
We see that you're moving the token around the environmental.
Yeah. Jawohl. Okay, well, that was great. Oh, well, it lasted. Okay, good. I can see again. So apparently I can't, alt-tab, which is inconvenient at best. Alright, so I need all of you to decide whether you are willing to help this ritual complete, or if you are willing to try to resist. So, I need from you 2 things. The first is an ability check using one of the 3 mental abilities. You can choose to use intelligence, wisdom, or charisma as you would like. And I need an ability check with said ability. And then I would also like a statement as to which you wish to complete the ritual or unbind the ritual.
Do you want us to go in turn?
Yes.
So we're not
And if
attacking
for
him?
any reason you want your answer to be secret, you can do that as well.
I'll go. I wish to not let the ritual complete.
All right.
And I'm going to use an intelligence. Fuck me. All right, cool. I had so many good intelligence rolls when I was testing shit out. Okay, awesome. Olive is a shell of a person without her book.
I will also try. 2. Sorry. I'm going to finish. I'm going to also resist the ritual's completion and use wisdom because cleric.
All right.
Whatever.
I also would like to unbind the ritual, and I'm going to use intelligence.
Oh yeah, I should have said unbind.
Oh,
I will use.
You guys are getting this. Why are they working against me?
I'll use wisdom, and Casey, I'll DM you.
Casey's already the DM.
Thanks. for promoting me.
I'm taking over.
Mid-session, I grant you DM. What?
That's sort of what I figured. Okay, so all right, and I have rolled for all of the others in this. You can guess at what their motives are, whether or not they have been successful, and
I don't like that we can see these weird, like, magically gathering colored things.
yes. So
Oh yeah.
in a score of 6-3, the ritual energy forms a union and completes. And you sense that some of your voices in this arrangement of networked minds were just drowned out by the fervor of others. And you didn't quite, with enough conviction, insert your will upon it. And with that, the energy and the beams connecting all of you go whoosh, and they swirl in, and that circle just comes and hovers above that and then drops down around the priestess with a flash as she sort of guides it down, and then the whole five-pointed star begins to glow as very eagerly these sort of lingering clouds, almost snake-like things, begin to make their way towards the center. What would you all like to do?
I think casting a spell.
Bruce would probably at this point try and thorn whip her down off that podium.
All right. I would like everyone to roll initiative at this point because it is quite clear that some of you were not as cooperative as you perhaps originally insinuated you would be when sneaking. down
Nice. Good so far.
Doing great.
Oh, numbers can go over 10.
All right. Everybody roll. Everybody in. Beep, boop, boop.
Oh, it's gush. These guys are just churching it up. I get it. It's or gush.
Orgish. Paget. I'm saying it wrong all this time.
Fancy.
All right. So, as you all seem to be beginning to cast things, with this energy going down, the priestess sort of lifts up from her hand there, and in it there's this sort of a ball of pallid green light, which she blasts out in your direction, Groost.
No.
This is going to be a guiding bolt. And I'll put her in like a square.
Of course you would put her in that square. You couldn't just put her in this square.
No, I couldn't. All right.
In Casey's defense, yeah.
All right. Here it comes.
Walking down the street.
Pew. The 7 hit you.
Nope.
All right. And what is that? She returns, sort of holding her hands out in front of her, and continues to chant and mutter utterances of praise towards Orgush as it appears ever so slowly the various
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
begin to come back. I forgot all about that.
Too many cooks.
All right, well, oh, it's such a good thing. If you haven't seen that after the stream, go look up Too Many Cooks.
No, don't do it.
Too many cooks.
Goliath, you are up.
Goliath will be inspired by this priestess, and yes, guiding bolt is the right answer, but from a real god, and I will use the guiding bolt against her, as I am down to my last 2 spells there about
Alright.
first time.
You can pick a square too.
Well, I'm gonna move away so I can see which squares.
Yeah, it's kind of like yours is kind of like 4.
Yeah.
You can pick any of them. It's fine.
I would be up close and trying to lean over a bit, so I'm mostly in that square. How's that? Mechanically in that square, I will use the guiding bolt. Did it count? It did not.
We'll pew pew.
Well, it's only a 9, so
A 9
this
will not hit
guiding,
her.
they're
Why
not
is there
very
so many
guided.
dice?
Just in case.
Too many dice. Can't
Too
spoil
many
the
dice.
game.
Yeah, it should only be 46, but it clearly rolled 8 just in case there was a crit. So I have no idea. But I'm glad the dice are back, so they were missing for a while.
Guess who's back?
I'm going to
Nice.
use a move action at this point to then. How far of a drop is it? And although Groost seemed to ignore it, does that look like it's water down there?
It is water. So anywhere from like sort of like there to there is, if it looks like water, it's difficult terrain. It's only maybe about from like the surface that you're standing on to the surface of the water. It's about 5 feet, and then the water is maybe about 3 or 4 feet deep.
Oh well then, huzzah!
It's I mean it's not very deep. Yeah. So
I'll just
easy
up and
enough
over?
to leap over, splash down.
splash down, pull up, climb up to here. If I need to check, I will.
Nope.
If
It's like
not,
step
I
rather
have...
than climb.
Yes, excellent. And did I have a bonus action? I guess I don't really have a bonus action to do. Okay, I guess we're done.
All right, Zahara.
So the snakes. Do they seem solid?
They look more wispy and cloud-like, although they are a very dense cloud. It's hard to know exactly what they are. They're not really like snakes. They're just
So-
kind of serpentine in the way that they move and go.
So they're snake-like.
They're not really clouds, they're cloud-like. They're not really snakes, they're snake-like.
Do they look stabbable?
Stabbable like.
You can certainly try.
Sure. I will go 5, 10, and I will try to stab a snake.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
I will do this. No.
All right, you kind of tenuously swing at it, but don't quite full commit and are unable to stab the swath of cloud in front of you. Its
Okay.
armor is impenetrable.
I will make an offhand short sword attack.
All right. Do you have 2 short swords?
I do have 2 short swords. As a bonus action.
And a short sword has an edge on
16.
both sides. That's 4 edges. She's 4 times as edgy.
Yes.
I am.
All right. So you do swing in. This time, swinging through the cloud, as you would imagine it would be like to swing a sword through a cloud, not really finding any purchase or resistance to your blade swing. However, as your sort of hand passes through this area, it feels cold, and part of the cloud begins to sort of seep and absorb into you. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Great. Is this a charmed effect?
No, it is not. There's nothing charming about what's going to happen.
Nope.
Well, snake charm, it's kind of thing.
Oh, good.
And
All right, so as you stab, actually it would be more of a stab through, pushing in, your hand kind of goes in as there's nothing to resist, and you feel the green cloud just absorb right into you.
okay.
And the cloud dissipates.
I. Okay.
Feels a little bit cold, but you're not quite sure what happened.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I don't have enough movement to keep going, so I will stop there.
All right, splish splash, in you go. It is the acolyte's turn. All right. What can these lovely, lovely friends do? All right. This one is going to cast a spell. Sorry. This is what you get if you have a party of clerics. Alright. And we'll...
We don't. We have one cleric and a priest.
down here. 5. And move to there. That will do it for his turn. This one will hop down, splash, move to there, and he is going to brandish a sort of gnarled-looking club at you.
You put that down.
He's just like, and he will try to club you, Goliath. Here it comes. This will have an additional dice to it. Does a 16 hit you?
It does not, but I don't like the fact
Alright.
of the ability.
And this one will take a jump off there and close in.
Wait a
on
minute.
you. And is going to take a club, swing at you at advantage, and so I think 21 probably hits you regardless, right?
Well, it's better than my armor class, yeah. Yeah.
Why is roll 1d4 and oh, it's because there's no space. Okay, so here comes the damage from that. 1 massive point of bludgeoning damage as you kind of like flinch and it hits you and you're just like,
I see.
like there's not too much behind this. Going to jump down as
Ow,
well.
cat.
So 5 feet to jump down. There. This one is going to move to there.
You motherfucker.
And is going to take a swing at you, Groose, with its club.
All right, if you could just not stand.
Here it comes.
Sit or jump.
Not an advantage, but with a little
Nope.
bit of extra. 18.
Yes, this does
Alright.
indeed hit the Groost.
And it will roll.
It's only going to be
damage.
one. Don't worry, Groost.
Could be 4.
Nah,
Because
it'll
of
be
the things you say.
good. It'll be good.
It's supposed to roll damage.
That means 0.
I've clicked it twice now. Oh, here we go. 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And that's it for all the acolytes, I think, right? All right, Groost, you are up.
Groost is gonna waddle around here. Oh, sorry, don't mind me. Seeing all the spells missing, he's going to show what a real god can do. It's going to be inflict wounds at 2nd level. 22.
22 will hit. I assume your target is Moliath?
Correct? No, this one. The daughter.
Please state your
deal
target before
33 points of damage.
Holy sweet mama pajama.
Alright, and with that you see a tremendous amount of life drain from the priestess as she kind of almost collapses to her knees for a moment.
Also, hold on, let me check. Can this trigger? Fury of the Small. You can deal 3 extra damage to a creature with a size larger than yours.
She's a medium-sized creature.
I am small.
Then that is a size.
So-
larger
But
than-
does it apply
Okay.
Does it apply to
to
spells?
spells or weapons?
Well, that's what I was checking. It just says once per short rest, you can deal 3 extra damage to a creature with Fury of the
It doesn't
Small.
say on a.
Fury of the Small.
You're looking at the
5e. When you damage a creature with an attack or a spell, and the creature is size larger than yours, so
Okay.
yeah, I can trigger off that. So that is 36.
Alright. A massive amount of damage there. Anything else?
Groost is then gonna disengage her bonus action and go back to here.
Alright.
Actually, yeah, to here.
Alright. Olive, you are up.
I'm gonna do magic missile. At 2nd level, I'm gonna do 3 on the daughter, and then 1 on the person I saw casting the spell.
Alright.
So that is 4 things of 4.
Magdalene should
Alright,
pay attention.
so
That's pretty good.
1 to this one. Which is
Yeah, 1 to that
4.
dude.
Please hold. And bless will drop. And you see the flurry of meat tenderizers smack into the priestess, and she kind of drops down. And the one who lost control of Bless is going to use his reaction to use his loyalty beyond death trait. As a reaction, an ally can see is reduced to 0 hit points. That ally is instead reduced to 1 hit point.
I hate you.
And gains additional temporary hit points. Alright.
We should have.
We just got 3 to go. We just got
We
3
should
to go.
have. We should have split the damage. Ah.
Alright. And with that, the body sort of like lurches very unholily, and some of this fog seeps into it, and she just sort of contorts, and with this sort of cracking of her back, comes back and just sort of
That doesn't
looks
seem
I can help you with
around
that.
at you. Olive, anything else?
I am going to. I'm gonna stay where I am. Yeah, and like the whole time she's like going like because part of her spellcasting that she would always touch your book and it's not there, and like the meat tenderizers came out, the magic missile meat tenderizers came out, but they didn't look as robust. Like like Cosima kind of gives her a little fury, and this it looked technically accurate, but there was no passion behind it.
Like most of my cooking.
I think I've ever seen a passionate meat tenderizer before.
Well, you haven't been looking at the right meat tenderizers.
I guess not.
Any movement or anything else?
No, I'm gonna stay where
Like
I am.
that pineapple
All right.
glazed
So
tenderizer. Yeah.
the top of the round.
Wait a minute. Those are real snakes.
All of them begin drifting even more towards the center. The priestess, sort of after she lurches back, begins casting a spell. And with that, from her, you see these sort of almost serpentine-like things come out, and you realize it looks like these spectral necks with large, almost hydra-like heads on them that sort of extend out and begin thrashing in all directions. She is casting Spiritual Guardians, which is a 15-foot radius around her. Alright. So, I will link this.
What is she designated as it not hitting?
All of her acolytes. Flit around you at a distance of 15 feet for the duration. She is not good or neutral. And they appear orgushish. Alright, speed is halved in this area when it enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, wisdom saving throw, or you're gonna take some damage. Alright, so that is done. And she has no bonus action. So she.
But she
will-
forgot to include those wispy things, so she'll kill them all. It's great.
Oh, right.
They don't appear to be affected by it at all. They
What?
They actually seem quite at home there. All right,
It's weird.
Moliath. I need a
That doesn't track at all.
Wisdom saving throw. Is that right? Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
I will roll the wisdom saving throw. And it will be a natural 20 wasted for 27 total. I mean, I appreciate that I succeeded,
half damage,
likely.
So we will do
But that was a bit of an overkill.
half of 3d8. Whew. It's a pretty big roll. So 9 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, I'm going to use my Stone's Endurance to reduce that by 1d12
All right.
plus 3. Can I click it here? I can do that. The d12 is 7, but it doesn't include the plus 3 for it. So it's 10 off
so
that.
damage.
So I reduce it
negated.
all.
All right. Continue with your turn.
Okay. I don't like that. And so now I feel that this looks like... is this a spell I'm familiar with? Is this concentration? Would I know?
It
Is she
a
concentrating?
cleric. You're guessing it probably is.
Then I'm
This
going
is
to
a
focus
persistent
on them.
effect.
Even though I was about to focus on the small fries who are keeping her up. So we'll start with the following. My favorite spell is Toll of the Dead at this range because it doesn't have an attack roll. So she can... here's the Toll of the Dead. The DC, of course, is a Wisdom saving throw DC 10.
See how she does. And of course, the cleric gets a 3 or a 5. So she will take, what is that, 10 points of necrotic damage?
It is?
Alright. And that's the right damage for being wounded, right? Yeah.
That is correct. I chose that she was already
Yep.
damaged because I watched her get already damaged.
Alright. And will succeed succeed on her concentration check.
Inconceivable. That didn't render her unconscious.
Did
That
not.
It didn't breach her temps. Dang. Oh well, that's
Oof.
unfortunate completely, and I don't like it. So here's a move I like to call. Wait, what happens if I move around this thing? Spirit
You're
Guardians?
moving at half speed.
Okay, then I'm gonna go like this and provoke from the one on the bottom
All right. Provoking from the one on the bottom and the priestess.
and the priestess.
Who is
That's true.
Does have a mace, so she will strike out at you at advantage. The 19 from the priestess. Does that hit?
19 will strike.
All right. So for 4 points of bludgeoning damage,
All right.
and the acolyte will strike out at you with the club at advantage. Does a 19
That
hit
will
you?
also hit me.
All right. Only.
You know
2
I have a
points.
19, right?
Oh,
Just FYI.
they know. They know. They don't waste any effort. So
They're like, look,
taking
very
a few
efficient.
shots there.
Okay, and then I will once again provoke from the next two.
All right. So just keep track of how much movement you're moving. So 2 more acolyte attacks, not at advantage. 1 and 2. Let's see. So neither of those managed to get by your defenses.
Okay, then I will start to come back in, and hopefully that have killed all the reactions to save this lady.
Big old brain.
That's my turn. I can't quite get back up because of my 30-foot move speed in difficult terrain, so I've moved 30.
All right.
All right, I
Oh,
will
great.
begin my turn.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
Wisdom saving throw.
I
Okay.
was gonna wisdom saving.
So the one thing I was gonna say is they're about to regain their reactions. I think. And
They do at the
it's
top of their turn.
top of
Right.
So it's all on you, Zahara. You gotta kill her.
Okay, there's still one right next to her.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that doesn't have a reaction.
Yes. Although, I mean, I can.
Can you kill both though?
Fuck.
That's not gonna do it.
Actually, if Maliath hadn't moved, I might have. Except that would have.
If I hadn't moved, they would have had 4 reactions ready.
No, yeah, I know. Okay, so wisdom saving throw for starters.
I guess the other way is then to just go
16.
Succeeds.
there and there. Guess that would have gotten all of them.
Yeah, I guess I could have.
So 16.
I forgot about this one. I'll go away.
That's for the Spirit Guardians, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So half damage.
Half damage.
3d8 come at you. Much worse than that. So only 4 points of damage.
Counted for. And then, so half speed. But I still have, even so I have enough movement to get to here.
Yep.
I am going to... I don't think there's a way for me to do this. I'm gonna take my first attack on the little dude right in front of me.
Okay. Making an attack against Groose, you gotta move 1 more space up.
No.
This is a big
Um,
guy for you.
So I am going to make 1 short sword attack here. Come on, dice, don't fuck me this time.
All right.
20.
That will hit him.
Okay, with sneak attack. Because Groost is engaged.
You.
So that is 14 points of damage, and then I am going to use this. So immediately after I deal my sneak attack damage, I can target a second creature that I can see within 30 feet, the Blood Priestess, and roll half the number of sneak attack dice for your level and that creature's going to take necrotic damage equal to this.
Automatic?
Well, yeah.
Nice.
I only have 2 of them per long rest. So that's one of
awesome.
those. I have demarcated the resource, and I'm rolling this.
So half the number of sneak attack damage.
So just 1d6, but it is 6.
All right.
6 points of necrotic on her.
You notice that the necrotic doesn't seem as quite effective as you
Okay, well, that
might
tracks.
imagine. The other one, however, does go the way of being the stabbed.
Love that. For us. Bonus action. Offhand. On the Blood Priestess. Only a 13.
And a 13, unfortunately, is enough. She's not wearing armor, it's just robes.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice robes.
None of these people are wearing any armor.
Should have worn half plate.
Oh, not including. Oh. Wait, what is that? Okay, only 4 points of piercing damage. I forgot to turn off my sneak attack.
4 points is enough as you stab in, and she falls on your blade.
All right. So that's everything that I can do, and that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Thank you. I think we're still fucked, but
Whoa. This green aura is gone, yeah?
True,
The
green aura's gone.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
We're getting there. There's a
Hold
lot of things to
on,
balance
hold
right now, I'm
on.
sure.
That's what I'm worried about the most. Really.
Aura triples in radius. Got it. All right.
Yeah, I should have saw that coming.
I mean, you were really excited about it, so I figured I would keep doing
Make it bigger,
Um,
'cause we
more
loved
of
it.
it.
What's that called? Subverting? I like
All
that.
right. And all right, it is now the acolyte's turn. Let's see. This one here. Wait, does this? No, that doesn't matter. All right. There are going to be Malias. I need you to make. It will be 3 dexterity saving throws, as all 3 of these casting sacred flame in your direction.
No! Don't they realize I have 0 to my dex saves?
Alright, so it's a DC 12.
Okay, the first one. Oh, I failed.
So 1 point of radiant damage goes through
No,
for the
ow.
first one. Alright, next one.
Now you know how it feels, I guess.
So
18.
alright, so that one succeeds, and one more.
6 again.
Alright,
Oh.
so you take 6 more points of radiant
So
damage.
7 total since I haven't marked any of it. Ouch. Did that work?
Alright,
No? Why didn't that work? There we go.
and, this one is going to move here, and then here, and this one is going to scamper its way over to here, as the rest of you are somewhat imposing looking. Groose, you are up.
Roost is gonna, excuse me, coming to on the way. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I climb up onto here?
With an athletics check, DC 12, as you are a small goblin.
Can I swat Bruce back down like an NBA player?
I'm gonna go ahead and not. I'm gonna go ahead and not do that,
Oh.
based
Okay.
on my understanding of my own athletics.
Yeah, because you're standing in 4 foot deep water trying to climb up
Uh,
basically 5
And-
feet above the surface.
Groose is gonna charge up his Mega Blast.
Oh.
Oh, pantaloons! And word of radiance
So what am I doing? Constitution saving throw.
from these two.
All right. Can you link the spell, please?
Yes.
Each creature of your choice. Okay. Con saves. Top one for the bottom. 11 and a 16. So top will take what's 5 points of damage.
Yep.
All right, and that is enough. That one you can see drops, and the other one goes, "No, not yet, brother!" And as he like sort of splashes in, he just comes back, and you see his body sort of thrumming and glowing with energy as he seems to come back almost stronger than he was originally.
How
Which
Which
one?
one?
Which one hopped up and came back? This one?
Oh, oops. I just did something really bad. I changed all of their hit points to 129 by accident.
we
No,
got
thank
this.
you.
We got this. We
Which
got
is
this.
which is incorrect.
Good.
hold on.
Ah,
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm not gonna go back and do it, but actually, that other
Actually, their hit points are 129.
it probably doesn't matter, but I realized that I did. The damage you applied to one of them got applied to all of them at the beginning of the fight, when that one got hit with magic missile.
Oh, did you link these? These shouldn't be linked.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
That is.
that's the most efficient magic missile I've ever seen.
Yeah, so it was like they all got hit with a magic missile.
Nice job, Cookie.
I didn't unlink them, which I'm doing now. Oops! I was like, why do they all have the same hit points? Alright, so this one bounces back. So this guy has bounced back.
Okay.
Oh. Wow,
And
you're
which one
lucky.
was the one that shouted?
The one next to him.
Yeah, because this
Okay.
one already expended that resource, I think, if I'm guessing correctly.
No. Their turn is come and gone. They've all had their reactions back.
Well, we don't know whether whether it's a once
Right.
per long rest thing or whether it just
So,
recharges with every
What we
reaction.
do know is this one
True.
did it, and this one did it at
A
some
flock of metagaming pigeons flies over.
Ah!
As everyone's like, what's a reaction? Rah!
What's a spell slot? What's a bonus action?
Okay, so that one's back. Anything else, Groost?
You guys are going pretty scary now. I'll go back over here with the comfort of my friend. Disengage. Bonus action.
My friend.
Hello.
Olive.
Olive is
Yeah,
gonna.
their
I'm gonna firebolt
characters.
this one right here.
Alright, please make attack roll. I'm gonna give him half cover because he is standing half in water.
Okay.
Um,
Doesn't matter. I rolled a 9.
will not hit him.
Yeah.
Just sort of impacts
Um,
the platform in front of him.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to stay there. And that is my
Move.
turn.
Alright, top of the round. Alright.
Oh.
Oh.
This one is going to move through you, Maliath, and I need you to make a charisma
Nope,
saving
I'll
throw.
allow it. No, not gonna allow the saving throw. You know how you can stop someone from moving through your square. Charisma, you say?
Charisma saving throw. Let me look at what the DC.
I think my luck is about to run out. Yeah, I felt that for some reason.
All right, and with that,
Snake
That-
possession buddies.
that one disappears.
I'm sure this is
towards
fine.
In this one is headed in towards the center, but oh look, there's a Groost in the way.
No. No.
Charisma saving throw on you,
What?
Groost.
No.
How did we
What
lose
is-
the party? Well,
standing,
you know,
standing on a point, and then no.
14.
All right, and as it goes in, the power of Maglubiate is just too strong in you, and it sort of weaves past you.
Thank you,
and
Maglubiet.
as it sort of nears the star, just swirls and then absorbs into the star itself in the center where this energy is. And as that happens, you see this sort of swirling mass of energy just expand a little bit. All right, Maliath, you are up.
Well, that's no good. I'm going to immediately use Toll of the Dead on the one directly north of me that has just taken a little bit of damage, and then didn't die.
All right, so this one.
Yes.
All right.
I think that's the only one that hasn't shown that it has used some sort of resurrection or prevention capability thing. So here's my spell. It's not that all that painful, I guess.
They're not all that wise. So we'll take 6 points of damage as it winces. Does not appear to be felled by it.
Drats.
Oh yeah, and this one is lay gone.
No, I don't like it. I'm done.
All right, not liking it. Free item interaction. Zahara.
I am gonna go
What is that? It is
5.
it, which I do not like.
5, but then it's gonna be 10, 15,
Yep.
and 20, 25.
Yep.
And do I have a clear shot right now?
You have clear shot at none of them as the podium is in the way. They all will have cover from you.
Okay. So at 25, 30 bonus action dash, 35, 40, 45. And I will take a shot at, or I will drop my short swords onto the ground next to me, pull crossbow,
All right.
and I will take a shot at this one. Crossbow. 20.
20 will hit.
All right, Schnurk attack. Do to Maliath.
All right.
Not great.
And that one sort of collapses and sort of just lands on you, Maliath, as it goes down. The other one reaches sort of out and just kind of like looks through you, and you can feel it kind of like spasm a few times on your back as it just lurches back up. All right.
I assume the one on the north has now expended his savior thing.
We don't know how many they have.
I don't know,
Like,
but has
yeah.
used it, I should say.
This one was the one who was doing all of that, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Zahara?
No, that will be it.
All right. Acolytes are up. Acolytes are up. What do we want here? They were pretty happy with how the Sacred Flames went last time. So you are gonna get 3 more Sacred Flames, Maliath. So coming at you.
I feel you're picking on me. I hope I roll good on this one. Thank God I did.
All right. He just happened to be there. Always in the wrong place.
Dang it. I'll take 4 on that one.
All right, and one more.
Then I'll take 4
Another 4
more.
right
So
All
8. Yeah. Help me.
Just a reminder, you are standing in 4-foot deep water. All right, and they will hold their position.
Why did that heal me? What?
Yes.
No.
We need the other type of.
Oh, because I hit -8 damage, which is hilarious, by the way. Let's try that twice. There we go. That's correct.
Oh, lovely. Bruce, you are up as you see just these bursts of radiant energy flashing through the water all over Moliath.
They got anti-Moliath aircraft guns.
That is not good. Hmm. Ghost will assist. One ghost movement. Two ghost movement. And inflict wounds on
Moliath.
this one. Actually, could I? Okay, I'll just do this. Inflict wounds.
All right.
Ah!
8, unfortunately, will not hit their massive armor class.
I have failed you, large one.
As he just sort of weaves out of the way.
I will spend some time over here with my friends to reflect. Disengage.
Alright.
For luck.
Alright, Olive.
Alright, Olive's gonna step forward on the podium a little bit. What is this star drawn out of? Like, what is the material?
It's kind of carved into the platform. It's an inlay of a different type of stone, you think.
Shag
You're
carpeting.
a little far away to. It's
Right,
not
but
like
for-
quite as like raised and made as the random clip art that I've plopped on
So
top
it's
of
not
it.
like made out of like origami or something
No.
that's flammable, right?
Does not look flammable.
It's all
can't-
made of
you-
fuse. It's
But
just
if you want to light Roost on fire, it is now.
Goblins are not flammable.
Alright, I'm gonna try I wanna hit the red snake with Ray of Frost
All right.
to see if that does anything. To make it solidify. I'm just
Goliath just looks up at sadness.
I know, but I bad things are gonna happen too. Oh,
I
fuck.
agree.
Bad things are already
16.
happening.
I know.
Alright, Ray
I'm
of
sorry.
Frost fires
Okay.
into the central mass of this little red snake-like cloud, just sort of goes right through it, and leaves little slick of ice just past it. Doesn't appear to have any effect.
Okay. We tried physical, I want to try spell. I'm sorry. Okay. That is I'm gonna continue to stay there and be like, fuck.
Alright, top of the round. The last two sort of reach the center of the circle, both absorbing into it as the center of this now grows a fairly sizable portal. Sort of swells out, and looking through it, you can almost see it's just sort of like this sort of weird nebula stars in it. Like you can actually see through the portal to somewhere else, and it looks definitely big enough to accommodate at least a large size creature. And so that portal is now I'll draw the squares in which it occupies there on the correct layer. That is now all a portal. Alright, Moliath, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to use a bonus action to use my last spell to healing word myself.
Alright.
Oh, 9 is pretty good.
It's good to be a life
Could,
cleric.
could be a little better, but I'll take 9. 9 on the healing. Check. Then I will use my standard action to take the dodge action.
Alright.
And I will take the move action to provoke and move to here.
So how are you... Oh, you're just moving. There's no such thing as a move action. You're just using your movement.
I feel that there's action involved as I've moved.
All right. The one next to or the one that provokes will take an attack at you. At disadvantage, the club. Here we go. 12 is low, so that does not hit you. Just sort of glancing blow away from you.
Okay, and that is my turn.
Zahara, you are up.
What is this square I'm
Okie
looking at?
dokie.
That square is a giant portal.
Oh. I just look at what I've gotten close to. What the hell?
It's like, wait. All right, I will take another crossbow shot at this one. Only a 12.
12 will hit.
Okay. Sneak attack because of Goliath.
Ooh, jeez.
21 is enough
Overkill.
to shoot through that one. As it splashes into the water, a little crimson pool floats above it.
And do I expend my other Whales of the Grave? Or Whales from the Grave?
Doom, do 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 do. It's a whale from the grave. Do 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 do.
It's a zombie whale. Zombie whale.
No, I don't think I do. I will. And my
Summon a
turn.
horse.
If only.
Anything else?
And my turn.
All right. Acolytes of the grave. What can they do? All right. All right. This one is going to climb up onto the pedestal next to Maliath, and he sort of, through his mask, you make eye contact with him, and you don't see like fear. You just see just sheer, almost like bliss in his eyes, as he moves by you and says, "Yes, we will ascend," and he is going to jump into the portal. You can. This does provoke as he is sort of moving out.
I will hit him with my unlikely mace.
The other one following along.
Oh,
behind.
hey,
So that
21.
does hit him. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Take that.
And the body.
Take that with you.
He does sort of stumble as he goes through, and then the other one, again, sort of gleefully dives into the portal there. And with that, we are no longer in rounds.
All right, I'm gonna jump. No, away from all of this.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I think I have a snake in me.
What?
Well, I think all of us have a little snake in us sometimes.
No, I mean like I have like a snake inside of me.
There's a snake in my boot.
That's not a metaphor or a simile.
What are
Swap
those?
Never mind.
Okay.
I'll
We should
explain
make-
when you're older.
We should rush back to see Shavia to see if there's something that she could do about
I don't
that.
think
Shavia
I
was
should
a high.
go towards Shavia right now
Why not?
because I think the snake is Orgoosh.
Yes, and Shavia is an expert on Orgoosh, having.
And he probably wants to kill her. And I don't know what the snake does. I just know that it's inside of me.
Well,
I mean,
if Orgoosh comes out, we kill Orgoosh.
look,
It's simple.
look, I don't know how to get it to withdraw from my person.
Oh, do you also have a snake?
It's something, yes, it's something chose to reside in my heart. It's terrible.
That was a very poetic way to put that for having an eldritch horror inside you.
It's not an eldritch horror. Or, wait, is it?
Don't think so.
It's a thing I read in a book once. I just thought it was a fancy word to pull out right now.
I don't like it.
I would also like less snake inside of me. Also, there's a portal there.
They could go in,
No, that also seems like a bad idea.
but they went in.
Yeah, but they were crazy people.
Right. We look for a lady with a room that has glue monsters in it. So. who's the
Everybody has
All-
to have a hobby, Groost.
All of these things are correct. But I think I don't know if we're at our best right now to deal with anything that's going to come through that portal.
Bruce is throwing rocks through the portal.
Oh, search the ladies. Oh, wait a minute. Did the portal go over the bodies of the dead people?
It is hovering over and around them, yes.
So, like, trying to touch them means that you would put your hands through the portal.
Not necessarily. Potentially.
Can you get an angle on the Blood Witch's daughter?
You see that lawnmower? I dropped my whatever, but just go ahead and get in there and reach for it and be careful. I'm not going in there.
It's okay if you can't. Is there any...
Bruce will try and drag the blood daughter lady witch's body out from under the portal.
Alright, I need you to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can do this
Bruce
without
is a thief.
passing the threshold of the portal itself. And with that, you are able,
Successful heist.
through your smallness, to drag the priestess out a bit away.
Could throw the figment into the portal. See if that's
No.
even possible.
Eloise is now a figment of our friendship. A nation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything on her of interest? I would like to go down and look.
All right.
Or you can look too if you want from me being up here.
Investigation roll, please.
Bruce,
Whoever is searching.
take a look. As he has dragoned this body out.
Alright, well.
8.
Going through, she's wearing very simple robes. The mace that she was wielding is rusted and very poorly taken care of. It looks like it was probably picked up or salvaged from something. Doesn't really have any earthly possessions, so to speak. But you do see she does have kind of a tattoo on her. From what you can see, there is sort of a neck and then a head that's sort of the head snarling of looks sort of lizard reptilian like that is sort of right on the front of her throat, and you also see that it's the same goes down her arm, and there's another similar head on her wrist, another one on the other arm, and you can see that it looks like the same thing goes down on the ankle, so it looks like sort of 5 different heads.
No, she hasn't got anything. Just
what?
clothes. And skin clothes.
Skin clothes? What's that?
It's like, you know, when you're like, wow, God, is my skin ugly. Let me cover it with all of these things. Skin clothes. Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Ghost body is his temple, so ghost would never get any. One great temple to McGlubiet. Right here, baby.
So these acolytes evidenced a lot of divine type magics. So I would like to roll my religion to see if I can't find a way to, as a ritual caster, understand how to maybe how this ritual is working, and also maybe if there's anything we can do to disrupt it.
All right, go ahead and give me a religion check.
I shall. Wish it was a higher number. 17.
Well,
I just
17
still
is-
wish it was a higher number,
17
but
is pretty good.
not necessarily.
So, looking over all of it, it's clearly some sort of summoning type ritual. Everything about it is combination summoning of 5 parts, but digging a little bit deeper into sort of combining what you sort of saw the priestess doing and the various markings, runes and such on this. It's not. It isn't so much a summoning as in pulling something just like from another place here, as it is a reassembly or rebinding. And
so more like a mending spell gone
yes,
wild.
as if something had scattered something to the wind, and this is sort of reconstituting it. You also do see, looking at this, that it does look like another similar but different ritual was performed in the same location, as some of the carvings and such have been scratched out so that they're no longer there, and replaced. It looks to be with some sort of paint of a sort of dark red variety there. And going through with a 17 on all of this, it looks like the original ritual wasn't this sort of reconstitution type ritual at all, and it was more a ritual of ascension, in which a creature tries to use forces to become a greater state of being somehow.
So it's like Pokemon evolution. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Also with the 17, you sort of through what you can under sort of like the distortion of the portal and all that, you don't see any part of this ritual that sort of involves creation of a portal, and so you don't think that it's the ritual that created this portal at all. It strikes you as something that sort of happened almost sort of haphazardly or as a reaction to things, rather than like it definitely was not part of this ritual to create the portal.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
So something else created this portal that was not this ritual.
Is there any indication of where that could have been focused from, or is it also this underlying ritual?
From what you saw, it's likely, since the portal didn't just like pop into existence, it slowly grew as the fog sort of neared the center. You're guessing that some combination of whatever those fog-like entities moving into the center were causing it. And then so you also, from that, know that only 3 of them made it there, so that the portal grew in size each time. It's likely probably intended to be much larger.
Well, I mean, Zahara and I, we both have unwanted visitors. If the group's idea is that we should stay away from Shavia, does anyone have a good idea as to how to eject the visitors without letting them get closer to this and widening the great portal that's already expansive?
Anytime that I eat something that I don't think, is safe, I usually try and poop it out later.
Thanks,
So perhaps this is the first port of call.
Well, it wasn't quite food in this case, and it wasn't consumed in a normal manner. It's Not related to that, I don't believe.
Well, perhaps there's some kind of magical pooping out we can do.
You're a terrible, terrible thing. Um,
I'm a goblin. We're a proud people. We are a people.
yeah, well, you're something. Anyway, feelings on how we should proceed.
I
I don't
think
know.
we
I'm
should
kind
go.
of stuck on the snake inside of me.
I think we should go and ask Xavier what to do.
If you feel like you need to wait outside, like further from her, while Grist and I talk to her.
I just feel kind of bad if, you walk into a woman's house, she's your employer, a snake manifests itself bodily from you and tries to kill her. I just feel kind of bad.
This same employer of ours put a boot to Groost's back end and threw him into some sort of endless dungeon.
It's true.
Put him back out, he was fine.
There was no end.
Water under the bridge.
If anyone can handle the repercussions of this, it is that woman who has collected enough gold to fashion a golden statue of this creature and has collected monsters from throughout her adventures. This is clearly the most capable person I think I've ever even conceived of. If this thing ends up being her demise, then so be it. I suppose it's possible, but I find it highly unlikely.
Well, it
didn't even kill us yet.
Also, if she died, as her closest friends, I think we get all of that money.
But they said that they
they
needed her blood in order to complete the ritual. And you know who's full of her blood?
I'm not asking her.
She is.
Well, to be honest with you,
I'm saying we leave here and be away from the ritual.
Okay. But I'm referring to the fact that I don't want to take the snake that's a part of Orgoosh and then put it in direct proximity to the thing that's full of Xavia's blood, by which I mean Xavia herself.
So I have a couple thoughts. One of them is clearly she's the betrayer. It's something that we theorized earlier, but she's the betrayer. Actually, hang on. Malaya, did you say this stuff about these? Like, did you tell us what you found out about the symbols and stuff? Like the ascension and the kind of binding and stuff.
I guess I didn't quite detail it very well, but I'm saying this is a ritual to open a portal. There's a problem. We have to keep our possession snakes things away from it, I think, or it will complete. The portal is not related to the ritual of combining, so the portal is likely wherever this thing is elsewhere. So there's a lot of theory on where your soul resides versus where your body resides, et cetera, et cetera. So if the combining is being done on multiple places of, whatever, but there's clearly an older ritual here. I didn't know if it was active or interacted upon at all. I don't know if that's what created this ritual. I don't think so. I don't know.
So was the older ritual the same as this one, or was it different?
No, it's a vastly different. It's more of a, hey, I'm going to move on from this life, and I've been enlightened and have become something greater. What that could be, especially if you're considering it's a creature like this Orgoosh thing, I don't know if it's quite, ascension's quite the word, but maybe.
So this is my thought. At first I was thinking maybe the kinder part of Xavia, if it exists, was realizing she went too far and tried to get rid of Orgoosh. Right? Now I'm thinking that she betrayed him to become more powerful than him and ascend past him. I don't necessarily think we need to suss out those motivations right now. It's just something that I'm thinking of right now.
Xavia has undone the contract with a genie Whatever Shavia wants to do, we're not going to stop.
I don't think I'm going that far because, frankly, I think we're in over our head on many levels. I'm just theorizing about this right now. While we're talking, I would like to be observing the portal and to see if it's waned or waxed in any kind of power. Like, is it kind of remaining steady?
Also, check that map.
It does not seem like the portal has changed appreciably in any way during all of this.
Okay.
It seems like it's
Maliath commands
just
me.
formed.
I take out the map
Uh,
to look at it.
The map still seems to have a little bit of a swirl, less dense so than before at the center of the map.
Okay.
Be interesting that if we move away. Man, it's just interesting. I don't know.
Like, would we see the two of you move on the map?
We just gave the enemy a HUD.
I don't know how we're going to avoid going back. And if I'm going to be of any help, I need a new book.
I might be a little too close to this, but here's what I see. We go to Shavia, or we do something here with this portal. I don't like either, but I'd rather take our chances with the thing that can undo genie contracts. Because this is gonna likely, those guys jumped in like maniacs. I don't want to be that.
That's
I think
fair.
we go to
But
Shavia.
if there's another option I'm not seeing, it's maybe because I'm worried about my own well-being. Please, somebody.
We either trust Shavia enough to go to her, or we don't trust her enough, at which point, why are we working for her? So let's go to Shavia. Also, remember that cat was like, I'll come to you at an inopportune time. That's probably now. It's inopportune now.
I think any point in time is going to be an inopportune time.
Untrue.
When would be an opportune time for the cat?
Right when I'm going to bed and think, wow, soft cat to sit on my bed and threaten me with death.
This is a thought that I often have when I'm going to sleep.
That was
I
really
find that it
this-
calms me.
But it's the spot right now.
What would you all like
You know
to
what
do?
my room is really missing?
The sun
I
now
vote-
has pretty much gone past the horizon. It's sort of the waning hours of dusk as it's beginning to be nighttime as you were sort of here at sunset.
Remind me
vote for-
how far away Shavia's is from here?
About a day's travel, it's about 6 hours.
Oh, no.
I vote for Shavia, who votes for other things.
I agree with Groost.
I don't know. Whatever you guys think is best. I have a snake inside of me.
What's
The
it feel like?
Shavia's then, and I think it's so
Uh,
pressing to move now.
DM, what does it feel like?
You don't really feel all that different. It's hard to know.
Horrible. It feels like there's horrible shivers running up and down my spine. I feel sick to my stomach.
Wow, this
Okay.
must suck for you.
It does.
You should try being more like me.
Teach me your ways, Groost.
I will. Groost walks off.
Zahar, it takes one level in cleric.
I look at her and point
One
at he's
level
gonna
in
teach me his
goblin.
ways.
All right, so are
A
you
multi-classing elf goblin.
are you making your way back home?
Yes.
Goblin. I couldn't think of a word. Gelf.
I think
There's
we
no
travel,
good word there.
and we don't stop until we're there because
Elflin.
the cat folk, etc.
Yeah.
All right. Are you attempting to travel clandestinely, or just going straight back?
I can attempt that, but I apologize ahead of time.
I
Doesn't
would
have
like
to
to
be.
try.
You can. I'm just curious.
I think Olive's skittish from being ambushed. So she would probably try to be as quiet as she could.
First sings traveling tunes.
Right over here, whoever's out there.
I'll move quiet, I guess, but I'm more interested in keeping an eye out for cats.
All right. Well, those of you wishing to move stealthily, please perform a stealth check.
And I'm not pulling your leg. This is my earnest attempt.
The cats are following you. Do you hear them?
Oh
Wouldn't
no!
that be really funny if when they actually do track you, they're just like,
Holy sweet.
You
That's
hear
pretty
that?
amazing.
It's pretty
And
good.
And
they
it's
get so
real-
happy that they found you, they just start purring too loudly.
It's like, why is that bush purring? All right. So you proceed on your way. Did you want to keep an eye out at all?
Yes.
I do.
All right. Active perception roll, please.
Yeah, what are you meowing about?
14.
You have food, you have water, litter,
Just
Places to
exactly
sleep.
one more than my passive.
toys to play with.
Well, you don't see any physical thing. Like there's no like rustling bushes or anything. You can't shake this feeling, Zahara, that you're just being watched.
Okay. I will keep an eye out to see if the cats make an appearance, but otherwise I will continue quietly.
Right? And
We're all looking at her.
after
Oh.
No,
oh,
you're not.
Is that us?
after 6 hours or so,
Not the 27, you're not.
you make your
Sure,
way,
we have you on. There's a bell. You don't know.
You make your way to Amber Lake, Shavia's estate, and arrive without any interruptions by other forces or anything like that.
Caspian,
assume it's, like,
keeping
midnight
an
or
eye
something?
on any other woodland creatures.
Doesn't seem to be outside at the moment. It's about, probably about, 9 or 10 p.m. now. Actually, no, a little bit later than that. Probably about midnight.
Oh. Let us see what happens as we knock on the door. I assume it's not unlocked.
I think
You
we've
can
always
knock on the door.
Gone in.
That hurts my knuckles.
All right, you knock on the door.
That's all in character. Ow.
About a minute passes, and then you hear some shuffling, and the door opens, and you see Caspian there with a little sort of pale blue nightcap on and matching pajamas. Oh, you guys can just come in next time. Knocking's a
wanted to
little
see-
weird.
See you.
Well,
Want to say goodnight.
If there's
Yeah.
a problem and we need to speak with Shavia now, how do we proceed?
I don't know. Tell her we're out of wine. Usually works for me. No. All joking aside, yeah, she has some sort of. Well, she's here. I'm sure she'd love to talk to you. She's kind of a chatty woman, I've found. Yeah, no, she's inside. Might be in her lab, or yeah, why don't you all come into the place where you live? And yeah, I don't like to keep the door open for this. Just come on in. There's stuff out there.
I walk in and I kind of clap him on the shoulder and I'm like, "Thank you, good man." And I keep.
I also bonk him on the head. Oh, I mean,
Oh, I didn't
Rock,
know
kick him
we
in the
were
jaw.
affectionately embracing now. He like bends over and like hugs you, Bruce. Welcome home.
Chris gives a hug and
not.
a kiss.
All
Okay.
right. Well, great.
It's so cute.
You want to go find Xavier, or should I try to get her for you? Is this like
If you know where she is, tell us. If not,
Xavier?
Ugh.
Xavier, they're back.
No.
They want to talk to you. Xavier? Where? And he just sort of like walks into the house. You just hear like, Xavier? Where are you? No. Oh, okay. Yep. Comes back to you. Yeah, no, she was sleeping in her room. Yeah, she's awake now.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
She'll be out to see you. Oh, no. Here she is now. Hi, Xavier.
Hi, Xavier.
And she just sort of ties up a string around sort of a dark green robe, pulls her hair back, and looks at all of you. Her eyes are a little kind of glazed over and red. Welcome back.
I have a snake inside me.
We summoned our goose.
She just turns and starts walking back to her room.
No,
Do you
come
have
back.
a blank spell book?
No, I'm actually really concerned about this snake thing.
There's more.
What?
Yeah, Goliath also has a snake.
Dining room now. Everyone. All right, it's a meet. Not you.
to the dining room we go.
Yeah.
The dining room we go.
She walks through the kitchen and comes out with a freshly corked bottle of wine. Sits down at the head of the table and just sort of.
We are a fresh bottle of wine kind of group.
I run into the kitchen real quick and see if I can grab like a loaf of bread and some cheeses and anything else, like to just make a makeshift charcuterie board.
All
I'm
right.
gonna drink her pain away, not have a elegant meal in the candlelit.
I'm hungry.
There's food and
adventured
such around, yeah. So
all
it's easy
day.
It's easy enough to find some things, and you've kind of been around here.
Chris, you are covered in blood.
It's mostly not.
No, it's mostly yours.
She slumps down in the chair and
Oh,
kind of
sorry.
puts her leg up on one side and just looks down at the bottle of wine and then like looks a moment at each of you and then sort of just like gnaws at the cork a little bit until she can pry it free and pops it out and sets it down. Please start at the beginning. Well, the beginning of the last part that I don't know about you. I don't want your whole life story.
So, we went to the temple,
Good?
and there was like a hobgoblin and
Not a
his
hobgoblin.
friend, and
There's a bug
also an elf there, and they were like, "Wow, this was such a great ritual." And the hobgoblin was like, "Well, I
Not
don't
a
care about
hobgoblin.
ritual. I'm just here for the money." So we killed them.
We did do
didn't
that.
have to. We wanted to be friends, but they were not friendly. One of them clubbed me on the head. So we went in, there was a crocodile. We mostly ignored the crocodile. The cat captured Olive because it's a very wily cat.
The cat.
The cat people.
The flight of fortune.
Oh. Were they following you?
Yes,
Did they follow you here?
Probably.
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 Also, they want to get in to take all your money.
Caspian! Cat protocol, please. Alright, on it. Code word whiskers. Undine, code word whiskers. Whiskers, Undine. I'll get her.
They also stole my book. They took her. Do you have a blank spell book? Just a blank book of papers that I can work on?
Probably furnish you with some sort of makeshift spell book. You said her, that's a little bit intimate.
Well, she's like, yes, like
So your spell
There's
book is sentient, you're telling me.
yes. Her name is Cosima, and we talk all the time. We
Yes or no is fine.
oh
And speaks to others?
Not not yet. I mean, I don't know if she can. She might. She probably wants to someday. But as of right now,
All
it's
right,
just.
we can assume that she's speaking with your newfound tabaxi voyeurs.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no.
Alright.
She wouldn't. She wouldn't. She
um,
wouldn't.
all right. Well,
Like, what if she likes them better than me? She wants adventure. They're pretty adventurous.
anything's possible.
An old cook, so
I mean, and you want this spellbook back?
well, if I get a new book, I have the capacity to put her in it again.
Is that
So I
with
can
or
have her
without
back.
her consent?
No, she'd want to come back.
Okay.
If she didn't,
No, it's great. That's fine. Not here to make any judgments.
sounds pretty judgy.
That's a judgment. So Tabaxi stole your spell book.
Yep.
You killed some people that you likely didn't have to.
Well, then we went down some stairs and we were like, somebody called up, "Are you guys here to do the ritual?" And well, we've been trying to branch out and say yes to more things. Get you out of the caves. So we're like, yeah, we're here for the ritual. So we joined in with the ritual. And they said, oh, but it's a ritual for Orgush. And we're like, oh, we're not really, not really Orgush people, more Magrubiat friends. But it was too late by then, and the ritual went through. So in retribution for this small mistake, we killed them all, one by one.
Not all of them.
Yeah, two of them threw themselves into a portal to another dimension. But I sort of consider that a win anyway. Also, snakes were inside two people.
Continue to be inside. Two
Yes.
There were like
Probably.
5 different colored ones.
So
There was an old ritual underneath the first ritual. The first ritual seemed to be a combination ritual. I don't know what exact way to describe the manifest things that was part or goosh. Whatever, however it was destroyed or broken or dispersed, it was being drawn back toward it. We say snakes, but it was more like a indeterminate sort of cloud-like, almost out of focus thing. It moved very much like a snake, and as it passed through myself, it did not continue. The other parts that did make it to the circle were absorbed into the circle. I don't know if that was powering the ritual or making the ritual wider, but I will say that a portal formed when they reached that point. That portal stands right now. Two of the 5 things didn't reach it, as it looks like Sahara has also intercepted, maybe accidentally, or maybe it's some sort of terrible malady. We're not experts on this, and so we came back here. We're also very much at our combat limit.
Mine was green, if that helps.
Your combat limit is green. Mine is red.
Is this
Flashing.
Is this a Cassian thing?
No,
Sorry,
the snake was green.
Threat level turquoise. Oh, wait a minute. What?
The snake was literally green. And also not a metaphor.
She puts down the bottle for a second, sort of shifts in her chair, and so she's sort of leaning on her elbows on the table. And then you notice her glance sort of gaze up, and you can just see Undine standing in the doorway, just sort of like head cocked to the side, and just sort of like staring blankly down at the table. So, it would seem that you've brought at least two aspects of Orgoosh into this household.
I told you guys this was a bad idea.
We have no recourse.
Oh,
Right.
the other thing too is the person that was kind of leading them was the daughter of the Blood Witch, there to finish what started, and
Who's the blood? Oh, yeah, right. The one that you killed.
and they were
yes.
talking about needing the betrayer's blood.
That's your blood.
We think.
We know.
So you think that at some point I betrayed Orgoosh?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Blood Witch certainly thought so.
Does sound like me.
Well, considering what you did to a genie that fulfilled its purpose, it
True.
wouldn't be out of character for you, but I don't understand all the specifics. Right now, my priority seems to be getting rid of some sort of spiritual leech upon my soul. That would be great to eject and or contain. Maybe you can prevent it from ever joining the rest of that ritual. Maybe it will eventually die because it's incomplete. Maybe you could shed some light on what we need to do next about that thing if this requires action.
Maliath and Zahara, I would like you both to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Okay. Joe.
I am very good at this, so I guarantee this will be a bad roll. Or the exact opposite. The greatest roll I've ever made. Natural 20.
15.
All right. Both of you, as you're sort of looking and listening to Chavia, you find yourself sort of like past the point of trying to gain insight or intuition on her. You feel that your minds kind of almost try to reach out and sort of grasp at Chavia's thoughts, but both of you are able to kind of resist that, and there's this odd sort of feedback sound, as if something is trying to use you to get into Chavia's head.
I turn around so that my back is facing her and I say, "Good news! The snake doesn't like you."
I also felt something, but I do not turn around, and actually I want to observe Shavia to see if there's a reaction, as if maybe she was able to sense and or react to it as it happened, or was she oblivious?
She definitely looks like she noticed something happening to both of you. Whether she internally felt something.
Okay, that's all. Yeah. Fair enough.
Is hard to glean. You can make an insight check if you want to sort of try to discern more of that.
Okay, but if I do this, I'll have to use the word vibe. All right.
Vibe check.
11.
Yeah. She did sort of seeing the intensity of both of your stares did sort of withdraw a little bit, but there wasn't. You don't know if anything kind of got through or anything like that.
Okay.
She just looks at both of you. Interesting. Orgoosh is scared of me. What did
That's not the feeling I had.
What did I do? I think I'm piecing this all together now, though. Whatever I did, it's unsafe for me to even know. Orgoosh needs to know something about it. You said there was a ritual done earlier.
Yeah, some sort of ascension to the other planes, likely an outer plane, because you don't ascend to the inner planes generally.
Orgoosh did have aspirations of grandeur, perhaps reached beyond his means.
You described him as more feral than anything. Now he has aspirations?
Yes, well, even the dog can dream of being the master. But still dreams nonetheless. If I wasn't to know. And then she just looks up at all of you, and then her head just sort of turns to Ondine. Oh dear God. I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws again.
Hey-o.
as you feel your attention now not focused on Shavia, but razor focused on Dean.
Fantastic. I guarantee another 20, and there it is. No. I saw it already.
Very nice.
That was pretty amazing for me.
All right. And with that, Maliath, you just hear this sort of almost painful level of sort of static feedback, and your vision blurs for a second, and then clears as the sort of fogginess wafts out of you, and you see that the serpentine cloud almost ejected from your form, like you have pushed it so willfully out of your mind that it couldn't help but to retreat.
Yeah, let go. Is there a physical manifest thing out there now?
Yes. It does sort of appear behind you, and Shavia stands up as Caspian sort of draws his sword and points at it. It's not going to do anything to stab it. It slowly begins to just seep through the wall and leave. Zahara, on the other hand, you look and catch the eyes of Ondine, and with that, you sort of get this weird tunnel vision sensation, like you're standing in a vast morass of dark nothingness, and at the center, a long ways away, you just see this scene, and as you race towards it, like there's nothing in your way but this singular thing that has been placed in this vast sort of openness, and that singular thing is the temple ritual chamber that you saw previously, and that you recently just got back from combat in. And as you sort of catapult yourself closer, you don't feel like there was any resistance on Ondine's part. It's almost as if you just opened the pages of a book and it started flipping through. The book cannot resist being read. And as you near that circular chamber, we will take our 5-minute break.
Okie dokie.
So, we will be back in 5 minutes to see what happens with the snakes in the heads.
The head snake.
Head snake. See you in 5. Okay, bye.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back to the last Paget. I've been saying it wrong all this time.
We're up to 5, 6.
Episode
No,
13.
Episode 13.
Episode 13.
Yeah. So, we will jump right back into it without undue delay. After these announcements from our sponsors. I'm not going to announce the sponsors. They get one time, beginning
Hail
and at
Hydra.
the end. So, you're thrust down through the mind of Ondine, which seems more vacant than you would expect. And you see this chamber. In the chamber is a massive creature, 5 heads, large body that seems almost alligator-like, reptilian necks coming up to massive, ferocious-looking heads, 5 of them, all looking down, fixated over this altar, which you just fought on recently, looking down on a much smaller woman standing there, wearing dark green and black robes, and your vision sort of blurs a little bit, and as you look down, you see now this star, 5-pointed star, ritual circle, below you, as if through the eyes of the woman, you look up to see this towering creature, the head's all focused on you, snarling, and begins to speak. Complete the ritual. It is time. You have gathered the components. The resonators are here. Do it, and I shall feast.
Do it.
The blood of that precious town, putrid, shall wipe it off the map. Feast upon their flesh, drink their blood, and ascend. And with it you shall be at my side, Xavier. And your gaze sort of looks down and you see in each of the corner points of this star 5 glowing orbs glowing in different colors. And the gaze sort of looks back and forth and then back up at this Hydra creature as a book raises up in front of you, looking down. You realize this looks much like the spellbook that you've seen from Xavier that you recently recovered. She flips through all the way to the end. And past the last page to something that's left in the sort of back leaflet, and words and utterances go through from her lips as she begins casting a spell there. And as the spell completes, all of a sudden you feel this sort of weird warping effect around you, as if time is slowing. And you move, continuing at regular speed, but the heads of the Hydra seem to move incredibly slow, as if everything is happening in slow motion. As it begins to react in a booming tone of disapproval. You move quickly, reaching down with your own blood, tracing a new sigil over the top of the other ones, and placing your hand down as energy resonates from it. It surges out to all of these orbs. Each of them flash brilliantly in their color as that energy just channels up into the Hydra, each of the heads kind of absorbing one aspect of it as the creature begins to twitch and thrash. One of the heads comes in slow motion to try to bite you, but you dodge out of the way as it sort of can't quite get there, moving as slowly as it is. Another spell goes by, and your vision starts to blur. It goes to a cloud of green and it's almost as if there's an explosion, and you're wiped. You don't see anything, just nothingness as it fades. Your eyes open. You find yourself lying on your back, looking upwards. Around you, just a collection of small stones and the sound of trickling water. As you stand looking around, seeing the courtyard of Shavia's estate. Moving into the very room you're standing now, you see there is a bottle on the table. It pops open. And with it, a familiar face, Jin, pops out. Without saying more than a couple of words, Shavia just utters, "It is done. Fulfill your deal." And with a flash, Undine appears at the end of the table. As the genie begins to speak, "Our vows, our bond, our deal is complete. I am now free." Shavia reaches out and grabs the vial, not as of yet, and uncorks it again, muttering an incantation. The genie sort of resists, but you can just feel the raw power inside you as the genie tries to resist, but is sucked back in, the cork put on. "Terribly sorry about all of this, but I may need you again." Undine standing there like a blank slate, not moving. "We will have to do with this." And then flipping open to the last page, yet again of the book, one of the spell scrolls cast aside, the other there. The spell is cast, and with that you feel this draining as Undine opens her eyes, looking a bit confused, as if a bunch of revelations just rushed on her all at once. She sort of very quickly looks around, disoriented. Your eyes close again, and then open. And Undine turns, takes sort of several steps towards the door as Shavia moves. You lean over the table, noticeably exhausted, struggling to move. You sit down at the edge of the table. As Undine sort of moves and leans confused against the door. And everything blurs. And you feel yourself sort of pulled and ripped back to your own consciousness, finding Shavia and Undine in exactly the same places that the vision had left them for you. Control of your mental faculties comes with you. But with that, there's this sort of painful, violent ejection of whatever was possessing you. Snarling in your mind with almost a gleeful celebration as it races out from you. I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okie. I need to find my character sheet again because I have been taking notes. Constitution?
Yes.
20, not
All right.
natural.
This shrieking noise racks through your head. It's the worst sort of headache migraine you've ever felt, but you're able to sort of stave it off as you feel it trying to just shred your mind and eliminate any sort of presence left in you, but you're able to resist. And with that, it ejects from you and, like the other retreating form, disappears through the wall. So you find yourself coming to. Everybody else in the room looking at you as if perhaps something had taken you away, and you'd been asked a question but hadn't responded for 30 seconds or so.
Sorry about that. Had a visitor at the cat door.
Wow.
Yes, that's what was. I was like,
Just as a question, did Ondine in the vision look like the Ondine that that I see like in front of me right now? Does she look noticeably different in any way?
She looks exactly the same.
So do we want the good news or the bad news first?
There's no such thing as good news.
Right. Well, I didn't die, so that's good. That's the good news.
Like I said.
Thank you, Shavia. I really appreciate the way that you support me and my career as my supervisor. So the bad news is that Orgush did just entirely read Ondine's mind.
She just sort of nods, picks up the wine bottle, and begins drinking.
Also, why does Ondine have a bunch of your memories in her mind?
Shavia thinks for a moment. This does all make sense. Ondine, dear, why don't you go back to bed? I think we have all of this under control here. She just sort of looks around at all of you, looks a little bit frightened, but turns. Caspian, can you perhaps walk her back to her bedroom? Yeah. Is everything okay? Is this about the cats? Caspian, I'll explain it to you when you're older. All right. Well, great. Yeah, just let me know when. Ondine, let's leave them to whatever their chatting is. She just sort of nods and kind of like turns her, and they both walk out. And Shavia kind of swings her hands, and all of the doors close to the dining room. What did you see?
Well, you seem to have pulled off a pretty cool Hydra fight. You did some sort of I guess you kind of turned Orgush's ritual or ascension ritual against him.
Oh, neat. Do go on.
And kind of used your own magic and your own blood to split him into multiple parts. And then once you had, it seemed like those parts were absorbed into these kind of colored orbs. And then you kind of there was an explosion, and then you came back here, and you made a deal with the djinn, and the djinn made Ondine, and she kind of wasn't anything, and then you did some more spell work, and then she was more things, or I mean, she's the way that she is now. And
It's brilliant.
then you kind of went to sleep.
is the spirit of it's still inside of you?
No, it tried to kill me and then it left.
Oh, rude.
Did we see a physical manifest
Yeah,
of it
you
eating her as well?
You saw it be ejected.
Okay.
Similarly.
Why would you make why is that brilliant? Why would you make Ondine?
It's brilliant. creature that can't really be detected, would never be suspected by Ogoosh. Of course, he would find some way to come back at me, but if there's nothing there, then he can't find anything. Oh, that's delicious. Yes. The last year of my life is in Ondine's head. There for safekeeping. Just like treasure chests or my most dangerous secret. And I knew I would then eventually try to unravel all of this, in hopes that I could find somebody to do so, which I guess is all of you. Congratulations, by the way. Definitely at least adding an extra gold to your wages per week.
Just one?
Great.
Yes, I mean there is less of you, so mathematically it works out to one more per.
We'll negotiate our salaries later.
Immaterial, yes. So, well, that explains why my power is gone. If you destroy the thing, causing your power. Are there any other details you're leaving out? Ogoosh, did he say anything?
He said that. Oh, I think that Crunel Bend was part and parcel of his ascension, the destruction, or rather the destruction thereof.
Well,
Something, eat their flesh, drink their blood, you know.
yes, he was
It's
that
lizard
kind
stuff.
that kind of creature for sure. I mean, blood was a strong part of a lot of those type of rituals. Well, I will say that Crennel Bend has been saved. Sort of like raises the wine bottle up, takes another big swig. So, good work. You've sorted out all of this, except for one lingering detail. Seems
The
like
things just left our bodies and are going probably back to the ritual and portal, maybe?
yes,
Open
exactly.
portal.
It seems like through whatever you did, you managed to, at least reconstitute Ogoosh in some form or another. But probably severely weakened if there was there any sort of large quantity of blood as part of whatever you did?
2 idiots jumped in the portal.
And we did kill 3 other idiots.
How large idiots are we talking?
Like medium-sized idiots, approximately.
All right. Well, unless they're of some sort of profound power, that's likely not enough to satiate his hunger. Ogoosh is always consumed by the need to gather and absorb power. A lot of what I did earlier for him was, well, I guess ironically not unlike a servant that provides meals. I would line up, deceive, trick powerful creatures into his clutches so that he could consume them, feast upon whatever power that was there. In turn, some of that power trickles down to me. Good arrangement. But of course, Colonel Bend is too precious a commodity to waste. Too
All
much
of it, or
at
just
stake
one
there.
part?
Well,
Like, is all of it precious to you, or one specific part?
in the church, I could take a leave. That's neither.
They have a
here nor
church?
there.
Wait, I haven't been there yet.
The one
It's
with the-
it's a bingo hall, pretty much.
Oh, yes.
No, only. Well, not bingo hall, but it's a gambling racket.
If you're down on your luck, it's a viable option. Well, interesting. Well, now that sort of come to this of revelation. Things aren't quite as neatly cleaned up as perhaps my ingenuity of a year ago would have liked, in that Orgush has been re-summoned. But all of you can probably put an easy end to that, right?
Do we have a method? There's a portal to some netherverse.
Yeah, he's probably just hiding in there. Just go kill him.
Oh, is that all?
He's probably in a weakened state, I'm sure. Brilliant adventurers with swift sword, courageous heart, etc., like yourselves, will have no problems. Yeah, should be quite easy.
I mean, you said that you sent somebody out to this ritual space before, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then they died.
Yes.
One just like dangling question that I have is, what killed them, and did anybody use their blood for anything?
It's an interesting question. I just assumed that they died because they never came back. It's hard to report your own death. Didn't want to waste any power to scry on them, but
I mean, I guess it's possible they just got eaten by the crocodiles.
there's lots of things out there. Perhaps they didn't make it at all. Perhaps they were mugged along the way, or bamboozled, joined some other cult. Don't know. There's lots of that thing going on in the jungle. Perhaps they just lost the nerve. They weren't quite heroes enough. You know how it is.
Clearly not.
No.
Right. So, Grace.
I have a question. Am I to understand that we are to enter the portal to wherever this creature is residing and slay it by conventional means? There is no other additional. This thing was destroyed and ripped asunder. There was torn apart and spread to some sort of ethereal wind, and it's been recombined. What can we do to ensure its destruction?
Well, it's a good point. Orgush, as I knew the entity, only maintained its power by constant feeding on everything and anything powerful. So, it's been gone for a year. Can't have had too many snacks during that. It's incorporeal, right? As you said, sort of shattered to the wind.
Yes, but the spirit of Thorn endured. Sorry.
So,
sorry.
I would guess that it's weakened, most likely. It's likely sort of trying to hide, remuster its strength. Do you know where this portal went?
It's stationary.
Well, no, I mean, if you went through the portal, where would you go? Didn't poke your head in? Isn't that the first rule of portals?
It looked like the nighttime. Just
nighttime. That narrows it down to
everywhere.
all of the planes, yes.
Yes.
Well, whatever these essences were that you carried here to reveal all this, those are likely retreating back there now. And if they all reform like the five heads, then guessing you're going to find a very corporeal version of Orgush in a diminished state. One that perhaps you could best with conventional combat. Orgush isn't the smartest of creatures, although he is paranoid, so there will likely be some kind of protection. Are you familiar with hydras? in general?
Not as a no.
They've got lots of heads. They like to bite and eat, as one might expect. Do you chop one off? They'll have more heads. After about 8 or 9, he gets pretty intolerable. There's lots of gnashing of teeth, and the voice it's a bit too loud. Eventually that subsides, but given the time of a combat, it is possible. So you need to figure out a way to stall that process.
Do you know how to make less heads?
I mean, conventionally, you stave them off with fire, but Orgus was too paranoid that would just become something everyone would know, and Hydras would cease to have any sort of unique threat or value, and the adventurers would just wander upon them with the preconceived knowledge that they could just do this without any sort of need for intellectual combat or stimulation. So he's much too smart for that, even being a dumb creature as he is. So I would guess you're going to have to find whatever the vulnerability is.
No, not fire, probably.
Who knows? Maybe it is fire. Maybe it's all one big mind game.
Maybe fire. Okay, I'll write that one down.
Well, great. I mean, you have your tomorrow task. That's always a good thing to know what you're doing, what you're up against. If you need anything, well, it is getting late. Perhaps in the morning I can help you.
Yes.
No, I would like a book now, please.
A book? What kind of book? Like
We went over
prose?
this. I need a book to write spells in.
Oh yes. Did you try to barter with the tabaxi?
No, because he took it and I didn't notice it because he was a sneaky cat.
Yes, you should keep a better eye on your belongings. Perhaps.
You normally have my hands on it all the time and it's in my front pocket, so it's really weird that I saw that it went missing.
Perhaps you're reaching for something shiny and forgot.
Maybe I got knocked out and almost got concussed.
That works
I'm just
too.
saying, we don't need to play. Just
Well, wards and guards. Olive, wards and guards. They're your best friend. People will think twice stealing from you if their arm is blown off when they touch your belongings. Just saying.
well, I haven't learned that yet, Xavier.
Well, I'll find that one and pass it along to you. It's quite fun at
Okay.
parties. It's a joke. You use Eldritch Blast to kill people at parties.
I just want a book, Xavier.
Oh, yes. Is this a now thing?
Yeah, it's a now thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I will return with a blank book.
I will come with you if it makes it easier for you.
No, that would likely be harder.
Okay.
Goodbye forever. I mean, be right back.
In case I don't remember to say so later, good job. I knew I hired you for a reason. It wasn't just your uniquely sole availability.
Thank you, Xavier.
She sort of puts the bottle down. Feel free to finish if you want. I'll fetch that book for you. Wonderful. This is great news. Great news indeed. She sort of springs to her feet and kind of skips out of the room.
Okay. Anybody else just having some real mixed feelings tonight?
I mean, it's kind of been an always thing. But now now it's just... No, it's still an always thing.
Ambition or not, Xavier has managed to stave off a great destruction of the town.
I mean, her moral compass does point to a true north sometimes, huh?
I'm just saying that if she gained from that, but yet still saved the town, then her ambitions aren't as black and white as they might appear. As
Right.
she comes off as callous and uncaring, but clearly there's some sort of compass in there, spinning in whatever direction it is. But her capabilities can't be questioned if she's able to pull these things off. She thinks that we should destroy the Hydra, and this Hydra has, according to Zahara, uttered the words, "The town's blood will fuel my whatever." Then yes, this Hydra needs to be destroyed, even if Xavier isn't necessarily a gleaming example of the gods' will upon the land.
Yes, it's just, I mean, and she just like, she pulls her short swords off her back.
All right,
I
initiative.
just kind of stab things. Personally, it's a Hydra. It's also kind of a god.
Well, that's the thing.
I just stab
weakened.
things.
It's weakened.
She puts them back.
Also, just coat those with oil and let the fire be tested immediately. Yes?
Yes.
Melias, you would know from all your sort of religious observations that though treated and worshipped like a god because it's a big, powerful thing, Orgrush is definitely really fucking far from being a god.
It's only trying to become a legendary creature at this point.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly. Yeah, that's sort of where it's at.
Right. So I'm just like, yeah, we can do this.
Zahara doesn't know that.
We can absolutely do this. If it's as weakened as Xavier says, and someone who's able to calculate out the Hydra's will and trick or overpower a Jinn, I think we'll have enough foresight to know that it's going to be weakened enough to be within our scope. I look at you and I don't think I can judge exactly what you can do, but I feel that Xavier has that. So if it's within our power, we should do so, even if it means somebody's end.
Nobody's gonna end.
No,
Goliath. No one.
Yes, that's not what I was hearing earlier, but yes, okay.
I mean, here's the...
I will do my best to make sure we all live through this, but as evidenced in that last fight, I had spent all my healing spells and was rather panicked.
Well,
It was tough.
we can do this, I think.
We
I
long
did
rest
kinda
now?
grub around for some extra things that she had. Who knows if she has more?
I mean, if we have a way to let me deal other kinds of damage. I don't know how you would do that. I can
Alchemy,
only...
fire, vials of acid.
Yeah. Picking up something like that would probably be good.
Well, the town isn't but an hour away, if I remember. Something.
Probably less, yeah.
I heard it's less. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So we
Thank
can
you,
check
voice
that.
from the walls.
You're welcome.
So we can travel there in the morning first, nice and early. See if there's a apothecary or a collector of regents and such.
Maybe if I could pick up some poison.
Indeed.
Question
It's a
mark,
physical
question mark.
form. If it's a physical form, that would be very useful.
Something I can dip my knives in.
But if we show up and it's just a shadow and that portal's still there, I'm out. There's nothing we can do to that.
After a few more minutes, Shavia does come back. She has a small wooden crate in her hands, and sort of balancing on top of it is appears to be slightly more ornate looking book. Under her arm, she also seems to have another bottle. This one, not of wine, looking to be of something a little bit more extravagant. She sort of unceremoniously slams the crate down on the table. You hear sort of the jangling of glass inside it. She takes the book off and sort of places it on the table. There's some doodles in the first few pages, but the rest of it is yours for the taking.
Doodles? I open it up.
Yes, there's a fairly accurate anatomical drawing of a frog that's just been like completely splayed open and all of its organs sort of like from where they would be like straight out. It was mine as a girl. I filled it with just whimsical musings and stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
And I thought, since you all look like shit, some of these healing potions might be useful to you, since you seem incredibly talented at absorbing the blows.
Thank
Great.
you.
I mean, I only got lightly stabbed.
And this, she takes the bottle from her arm. This is for me. Anything else you need? Words of encouragement. I can probably muster something in the morning if you'd like. Little team pep talk.
Real
Actually,
peppy there.
No, I have a better idea. Sort of Caspian's thing. I'll set him on it in the morning. Get you all ready to go, reared up, saddles on, bridled.
Well, like a bugle horn or something in the morning? Is that like...
No, I specifically requested no instrumental talents.
Oh. Well, thank you
Or
for
Glenn.
the provisions and a book.
Yes,
me?
yes, of course. And depending on where Orgush has hidden out, there may be all sorts of things. People like to, make offerings or whatever. Yeah, so perhaps keep your eyes out. After you've done the deed, of course. Great. Well, you all look tired. Should be an easy night's sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
I'm going to find that room I stayed in that one time and have a long rest.
All right. Anyone wanting to do anything else?
Yes. I want to expend the time of a short rest to bring back Cosima. So I
You mean doodles?
doodles. So I summon my quill, and it looks like a kind of like a brown and white speckled owl's feather, and I start, like, I kind of put my hand on the cover of the book, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I'll be a lot more careful. And I start to open it up and start to transcribe the spells that I remember that I had, and kind of talking to Cosima, like, with each, like, you can come back. I know you can. We got to do this. We're gonna be. There's a really big fight coming ahead, and I think you're really gonna like it, and I want you there. Yep. And just keep, kind of talking her and coaxing her through to come back.
And as the hour of denotating and recalling and scribbling and writing back in nears its end. You kind of sort of complete out the pages. You do hear your spell book back. What is all this? What did you do to the? Where am I? There's frogs. Olive, why is there a frog? I don't like it.
Here, Cosima, when we get the time, I'll find you any book that you want to be in, but for right now, this is what I've got to work with.
This
Like,
is...
it's disturbing, I know. She drew it as a girl. Like, she thought it was amusing.
Who...
I mean, if she'd been like, oh yeah, I was really scientific as a kid, not that bothersome. But like, oh, amusing. That's very weird.
Your boss is, she ain't right in the head.
No,
Well,
she's not.
At least she hasn't convinced you to do anything really stupid yet.
So, we're gonna go fight a Hydra tomorrow.
You know what a Hydra is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You wanted adventure this whole time. You're like, I can't wait to like help you destroy things and like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
make
that'll be good. What
explosions happen and
small
right?
things to destroy.
right.
Those cats, they
Oh yeah. What happened?
I'm very curious. I get the saying now.
They totally took all Mom's recipes, didn't they?
Uh,
Like, I know them by heart, but they were kind of sentimental. I guess I have to like move on. But
I think they still have the book. Don't know where I was, but yeah, there's lots of things there. Seemed like they were prepping stuff to ship out or sell or something.
yeah. Did they still have the orbs? Did they have 5 orbs there of different colors? I don't know if you saw. I don't know where they kept you. Where did they keep you? Did they mistreat you?
It was a box. It's not about making fun of them. They talk sort of weird, but I thought better of it. Didn't want to draw attention to myself. Planning an escape. Right. Yeah. Sorry. I feel like I've been shopping in the Goblin Clothing District.
What?
Story for another time, I guess. Story for another time.
Okay.
You should go see the Goblin Caves. The shopping. Deep cartels. It's some interesting things. Your fashion sense never quite recovers.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, you got anything good? Anything new? Anything here that's not
No.
an empty frog?
Not yet. Maybe soon. But
I mean,
right now, I just had to
didn't know
work
they
with
had
what
so
I
many
knew.
intestines.
I know. I mean, maybe we can like figure out a way to summon like a poison dart frog. Maybe that's something that you and I can cook up together, right?
I don't think they're for eating, Olive.
Oh no, I meant like for killing. You know,
Oh.
it's funny how like after a few kills, your interest changes a little bit.
So your interest is in killing now.
I mean, if it's a monstrous hydra, it sounds kind of fun.
I got to admit, I would like that, but you know,
Yeah.
I think hydras can read, so don't go, getting any ideas and trading me or anything.
I would never trade you. Come on. That's ridiculous.
Maybe some sort of locking belt or something from here on. You know,
I was thinking some kind of like
cats.
like
They
holster.
kind of got
or
those,
like-
those grabby hands, cats.
They do.
Or
Did they
other
need you?
things. Well, No, no. That I'm aware of.
Okay. Oh, and everybody knows that now. You have a mind and a voice. I never really told them. We never really told them before.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't seem all that smart. How'd they take it?
Here's the thing. I think we were dealing with another level of Buck Wild. So that kind of, I think, is just kind of like, oh, maybe they were just, I don't know. There was a lot going on.
Well, between me and you, I think they'll be good for you. I mean, you're clearly the smartest of the bunch.
Clearly.
Probably most talented.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Oh, there was something else about. So I actually just went on and on about taking stuff to the library. They talked about it like it maybe wasn't a library, like it was a code word for something that wasn't a library. I think that's
Taking
maybe
stuff
maybe
to
where
the
I was
library or
going.
from the library?
To the library. I was with a bunch of other books. I don't think that's how people really are supposed to use libraries. So, right. Well, I don't know. Could be worth checking out.
Well, that sounds like a good idea.
I mean, a frog, really?
It could be. Listen, the two other people in our party, they were possessed by a fog snake thing. So,
That
I think a
sounds
picture.
so much cooler.
Yeah, but frogs can jump. I hear jumping's pretty cool.
Your book shrugs.
Yeah, I believe it. All right. And I tuck in, um, with the same, like I kind of, put Cosima on the next pillow next to me and pull the covers up and go to sleep.
You just see the front flap sort of open a little bit, and you hear ribbit.
That's funny. You can do that as much as you want because I'm really sorry.
Ribbit. All right. And unless anyone has other things,
I just want to catalog what's in the box and divvy it up.
there are 4 potions of healing in the box.
All right. Do we each want to take one of those?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So Zahara, you and I would have 2.
I don't have
Adding
any
it now.
healing potion.
In the party loot, there's already 2 potions of healing that you and I have.
Oh, that somehow never made it onto my character sheet. Okie dokie. Adding it now.
I mean, unless it makes sense if one of you 2 wants to. Or wants, yeah. I've been doing it, well, fingers crossed, a decent job of staying out of range. But who knows?
Beth has disapparated. Beth has reapparated.
Anytime I extend my foot to stretch, I kick my webcam wire and it immediately removes me.
Well, it's good that you connected last. So, a long rest is achieved as you
Hey, thank God.
awaken at full hit points. Class resources restored. Spell
At
books
5th level.
Darn
back.
it.
No levels. You have not accomplished a milestone yet.
Untrue. We killed the daughter. We killed most of her little fucking acolytes. We opened a portal to summon McGlooby it.
You could have completed a
accomplished.
milestone in that encounter, but you did not.
I hate you.
It was possible.
Highly improbable given our resources at the time.
There were several ways it could have happened, none of which did.
Because the probability I was just mentioning, that's why. All right, this morning, do we made it to the morning? It's morning?
It is the morning, yes. You
Oh,
made it.
so much better. Oh, yeah.
All right. So do we want to see if we can get alternate damage types? Go shopping at the alternate damage type store.
For whomever needs it, absolutely. What's our
Did
funds
we-
consist of?
Did we hear when we were going around a Crenel Bend earlier? Did we hear about anything called the library?
As far as you know, there are no libraries in Colonel Bend.
Okay. I do relay what Casima told me about the Pixies going to a library, using a library as a code word for trading.
Could
That-
be just a warehouse, could be anything, really. It's just a code word.
Right. But if we do hear anybody if there's no library in town and people are talking about a library, we can connect dots, right?
We could also bluff any specs who we meet and mention the library. But
Yeah.
to what end, I'm not sure.
So what would you like to do?
I think we're all going to avoid Cassian this morning and head on out.
All right.
Really quick though, I do want to actually. Shoot, I got it.
You talk to Caspian.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, we followed into the trap.
I'm looking at my the cook's thing. There's one where I have to use a short rest and the other one where I don't. I think the one where I don't is that I give out like 2 treats that give us so many temper hit points. So if I'll take a moment to figure that out, but I'd like to grab from our little working kitchen some stuff that I had, like a few cookies that I had put away or whatnot. And I'll disperse those in a minute once I remember what that is. So. We don't need to pause for me. We can keep going. I'll figure that out.
Anything else for you lovely folks? Excuse me.
Do we have funds to invest in alchemical fire or poison or anything like that? I have 2 gold to my name currently.
There are 6 large rubies worth 50 gold each in the party loot.
Okay.
I am otherwise broke.
Thoughts and feelings from the party.
I like the idea of poison. If we've been warned away from fire,
I feel that, for at least for Bruce personally, poison will have limited effect on a bludgeoning weapon.
Well, I'm specifically because you have magic, right? I don't have magic. So I can do necrotic damage twice per long rest.
I'm very necrotic and radiant damage.
and we saw
Focused.
Olive throwing fire bolts. Did we ever see that, or Rays of Frost,
Both.
or both? Oh, so
Both.
you have fire and cold.
And
Okay.
I also have, as a first level spell, I do have chromatic orb.
Okay. Useful.
Fantastic.
And magic missile.
Magic missile and scorching ray and Tasha's red whip.
Psychic. Okay. So what damage do we have? Thunder damage rattling around? I can't help with that. I can get some poison, and then I can do some poison damage in addition to my non-magical piercing damage.
And maybe acid as well, if given that that's a different damage type.
Yes.
That's the only two I can think of that's readily available, like, or at least somewhat. I have no idea. Like, maybe not at the farm.
Am I aware if there's like an acid coating that I can dip my sword in that isn't going to destroy my sword?
Your sword is non-magical. Acid is probably going to damage it every time.
Corrosive. Okay, so I can't do it. I can't help with acid. I can do poison though.
But aren't there acid bombs as well? I don't.
Are there?
I
don't know.
Probably like
Yeah.
heave a vial of acid at something. As an action, you can splash the contents of this vial onto a creature within 5 feet of you, or throw the vial up to 20 feet, shattering it on impact. In either
Perfect.
case, make a ranged attack.
Okay. So, do we want to get some poison? Do we want to get an acid vial or two? Is that how we're feeling?
I think you
Yes,
should.
no.
I think you should, and I
Okay.
think it should be on you because you're the one that does multiple slicey slash.
That's me.
Like applying it to my warhammer is nice, but it's not a good call.
So do I know if there's some place in town where I would be able to pick up such things?
Stop pacing. Stop pacing.
The general sort of store that has everything, Sensori's Prepared Traveler Bazaar, is not really known to stock poisons and acids. It's more of a, normal people's things. However, the Discerning Exchange, which deals in magical items and all of that, is where you are pointed, and they indeed have some of the more unscrupulous items that you desire at Player's Handbook prices.
I don't particularly want to RP this. Hold on a second. You said we had 650 GP rupees?
A vial of acid is 25 gold pieces. Alchemist's Fire is 50 gold pieces. Basic vial of poison is 100 gold pieces.
Oof. And a vial is good for
1 use.
1 use.
Well, acid seems like the discount way to go. We can get 4
Yes.
vials of that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Fire's covered by olive.
So it says you can use the poison in this vial to coat 1 slashing or piercing weapon or up to 3 pieces of ammunition. Applying the poison takes an action. Once applied, the poison retains potency for 1 minute before drying.
Oh. Poison might be good too. Thanks, Kat. That's right. You're back.
I did that wrong.
Bruce, do you need anything?
Not that I can think of.
Now that we're away from the Chateau de la Super Uber Lady, the Betrayer, Chavia. Now that we're a little bit away, so about these figment things that we haven't dealt with at all. Or
Why
encountered,
would we need to deal with them?
I was under the impression they were related to these incidents. Are they not?
Could be. But Eloise has just been chilling, you know?
Oh,
Being friends.
I'm
So
not
hungry.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to
Eloise
be
eats
aggressive
every
in any
morning.
manner. I'm just bringing up the fact that there might be another mystery to still be unraveled. That's all.
Bruce pulls out Eloise. Puts Eloise on his shoulder.
He starts eating your brains.
Lack the requisite anatomy.
And
There,
brains.
there she sits.
there to join in the conversation. Felt rude not to have her out.
She just sort of looks around at the people walking by.
Please don't let her eat any infants.
I will make no promises that I cannot keep.
Hey, what
Okay.
if this
Okay.
Orgoosh is a baby version of itself because it's just starting out? This could
And
be
Eloise will eat its brain.
This will be a
Oh,
real
it's
boon
just-
to us.
And then you'll have a Hydra Eloise.
That's fine.
I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna be right there. Okay, thank you.
Any other thing? So what are you buying for?
Well, looking at the basic poison, it's a DC 10 before it takes the damage.
It does not take any damage if it
Succeeds. So I'm thinking that doesn't seem like a good use of money.
I like
For
it because
fighting
it's
a
10
big-
rounds, and you can coat
That's
one of
true.
your weapons with it for 10 rounds. So even
or
like
3
a
pieces
plus
of
7,
ammunition.
if you
Three
hit them
pieces.
10 times, there's a good chance that one of those suck.
So it's that it retains potency. It doesn't so it just stays on there until it dries and it's effective the entire time.
It's infected for 1 minute. Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's a good way to say it too, but effective.
Okay, interesting. Because for some reason I thought that it was just that
Can you
It
use
was
it to
good
coat
one
one
hit.
slashing or piercing weapon,
Mm-hmm.
or up to 3 pieces of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Once applied, the poison retains potency for 1 minute before drying.
So do we want to get one of those and then 2 acid? And I can do my main hand short sword and huck acid at the giant lizard that's trying to eat us.
I like
Sure.
it.
Okay. So I am going to buy 1 vial of basic poison and 2 vials of acid for a total of 150 GP. I am going to use 3 of the rubies to do this.
Alright,
And I will add it.
use the count for the
to-
expenditures.
Are you accounting for rubies on the party loot cookie?
I can.
Okay. Or I can do it. Either way.
Okay. I got it. So we use 3 of them, correct? Yes, 3. 3. Okay.
The lizard folk proprietors happily take your gems.
Do they lick their eyeballs in the process?
No, they lick your eyeballs as part of the process.
Okay, that's I accept this as part of their culture.
Well, just Harold is a little weird.
See, actually, Harold's just like this.
Harold he's the lizard folk salesman, and he licks eyeballs.
So he knows if he's getting a good deal or not.
Acid vial.
So he's gonna lean in and say, "Well, we have to seal the deal, huh?" Like, fuck, oh, get away.
I don't like dealing with people with glasses. You see.
All right.
Hmm.
We've got to make it there soon.
Well, it's half a day's away.
It's only a day away. Can I put away the adventuring gear section of the player's handbook?
Yes.
Wait a second.
All the shops are closed.
I wanted some rope.
I believe it's pronounced rope.
Pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
Yes.
Why does a vial of acid weigh 2 pounds?
Because it's in some very strong glass bottles. So it
Have you,
doesn't eat through your pack.
A gallon
Have
of
you-
milk weighs 8 pounds, so
have you ever held like a jug of water?
Yes.
Yes.
No, imagine it's a jug of acid. It's like the same thing, right?
I mean it would be
Water
like a
that-
quarter
Liquid
of
has
a,
weight.
Yeah, I'm aware of I'm aware of physical objects.
Yeah, but it also says a vial. It doesn't
it
say
says
like...
a vial.
Yeah, but how big do you imagine a vial is?
No, not vile. It's just vile.
See, I think
It's an adjective, not a noun.
Yeah, they misspelled it.
Alright, well you
I-
have
I
your
don't
2
think it-
pound vial of acid.
I do. Apparently.
I mean, if you want enough acid to do damage to something, you gotta, fill it on up.
I'm just saying that the poison doesn't even have a weight.
All right, the poison weighs 2 pounds too.
I don't want the poison to have a weight.
Oh, I'm Dora. I just want to have infinite poison away.
I don't.
Yeah, it's really sucks since we're keeping such careful track of encumbrance that.
Right?
Stop making fun of me.
No.
No,
Okay.
never.
I understood.
I don't have anything more to get in town or anything like that, so I think we head to the temple.
I guess so.
For sure.
I would like to keep an eye out for cats as we travel.
All right. Go ahead and make
House cats, though, not real big ones.
a perception check.
I will independently do the same thing, noticing this, but not like being a little too embarrassed to realize I didn't think of it myself. I'm like, I'll also.
23, natural 20.
Mine wasn't that good.
All right. Moving along, you don't see any tabaxi or cats.
Maybe after this is all over, we can discuss with the villagers where the what are they called? The catastrophes?
The flights of fortune.
Ah, yes.
Flight of
Where their base of operations is. They don't have like a home in town, do they?
Yeah, you would sort of know that there's a guild headquarters, but it is not in Colonel Bend. It's sort of like out in the middle of nowhere.
So they have their own property. Maybe we can discover or maybe make peace with, even, depending.
I mean, we might need a new employer soon, so who knows?
What? What are you planning? What?
No, I'm just saying, if this thing goes tits up, then
Yeah.
we might need a new employer.
I think if this thing goes tits up, then the Hydra is going to try to eat the town.
Well, right. Yep. That's a potential.
I mean, I'm just saying, there was this really, really annoying bard that I used to see in taverns sometimes, who did sing this song about a group of adventurers that created an entire lich. So I'm just saying.
Little gnome guy? Yeah, I know him.
Maybe. All right.
All right.
Walk in.
Time.
And you make your way to the temple, finding yourself in the same chamber in which we started the session. The portal still very much active, whispering and waning, fluttering around.
Is it the same size, or has those other, I don't know, wispy things gotten here and made it bigger, or is it smaller, or it's daytime on the other side now? What
Notice a couple of things. One, the portal does seem larger. It looks large enough to perhaps accommodate the size of maybe a huge sized creature now.
Bro.
You also notice there are no longer any bodies here.
Oh, that seems fine.
Well, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Next to hydraliness. So, the portal in front of you. What would you all like to do?
So we go in, right?
Oh. Shavia literally said there will be a physical manifest of this thing. We lure it out with noise or something. Clearly it can't.
This goes on for some time.
Just talk to the others. Clearly it ate the body, so we know it can reach away from the portal.
I could shoot a pot shot in there or something.
That's likely to work, I think.
Are we in a position right now where we are positioned where people want to be?
I don't like being grouped up this close.
Right.
Maybe we should take some sort of 4 diagonal corners or something, or 4.
Yeah, I can go over here. Kind of where I was before.
Go as far from each other as you can. Excellent.
Sahara, one more over. Cruz, way over there.
Hi.
And now we would like to perform the ritual.
Cruz, this is mine. Go to that one over there.
I just like this Goliath just being like, go.
It's just like pushing his face away.
Hello.
You guys should be healed. Also, Zahara and Groost, you have 2 temporary hit points. If you chose to eat my cookies.
I did choose to eat
Zahara is back. But
why
for a
is
moment was missing.
Why? Why?
I do not know.
I do not know either. Why is my hit point maximum incorrect?
Sounds
You
like
changed it
you
like a
I
fool.
didn't. I
You asked-
didn't.
You ask questions, Dora, but there is no answer
didn't
other
change
than
it.
your old mistakes. There is no
I didn't do anything.
there is no Roll20 gremlin, Dora. It does not exist.
There
There
are
is-
like 18 Roll20 gremlins.
There is no little goblin living in your PC that messes with your character sheet. There is only you, the goblin Dora.
I am a goblin.
Okay, confirm.
Only taken 10 episodes for Dora to realize.
Multiple years.
And 10 episodes.
And 10 episodes.
All right. Zahara, show Groost where he needs to go, please.
Bruce, keep going. That way. Come on, buddy.
Maybe we don't have to be like, I don't know. I actually don't know.
I'm really not sure what you're trying to say to me.
It's okay if we're not symmetrical, I suppose, but
It is more aesthetically pleasing if we are.
ready that poison, but don't apply it until it shows, yes?
Correct.
All right.
Olive is just standing there with this, like, beginnings of a, Well, we'll do Ray of Frost to start with. Just waiting.
It's probably an excellent choice, because if I was like, what's the furthest thing away from fire, it might be that.
It also could slow it if anything, right now. But are we ready?
I'm going to check one spell to see if I can cast it ahead of time and whether it's worth casting ahead of time. Concentration 10 minutes. I cast Shield of Faith.
Oh, that's a great point. I think that I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
I will represent it by this shield with the zappy zaps.
This brings me up to 13.
Nope. 11 minutes later, there it is. Dang it!
All right. So what are you doing?
When people are in position, I'm like, we go. And I'm going to, into the portal, cast Ray of Frost.
So you're firing Ray of Frost into the portal.
Yes.
All right.
Indiscriminately killing whatever's on the other side.
Oh, I'm going
Go
down.
ahead
I'm
and
not
make
going
a-
across.
Make an attack roll. All right. Ray of Frost seems to, go through boundary of the portal.
Folks, I think we might have to go into the portal.
Yeah, but this was worth trying. It's scientific. If anything's taught me, you have to draw the frog.
Goliath hops down.
Sure, but
Wait.
many years.
Just one of us. I will come right back. I hope.
Many years poking around ruins has taught me that sometimes you do just kind of have to poke the trap with a stick.
Like a fool, I jump inside.
All right. Heading inside. Let's see.
I like to think of this journey as not like just walking through a doorway, but more of a Bill and Ted running through some tube for like 10 minutes. I said I'd like to think that. I don't know what it is.
So, you do step through. Let me double check that the. Let's see.
I seem to be in something's mouth. Crap.
The portal is the friends we made along the way. All right.
I don't think we've made any friends so far.
It's too large for that.
So, you step through into a sort of very, very, very alien, foreign-looking world. It appears like around you is this sort of like clouded, starry nebula. It's very difficult to get a sense of what is up, what is down, as everything is just, space around you. You are standing on some type of sort of fragmented rock platform behind you. The portal just continues to shimmer like it has before. There is a long, shifting, almost walkway, carved stone as if this was made at some point, but all of the sides just beyond the walkway itself have shattered away, and it just extends into nothing, like you're on a floating piece of rock. Around it, there are other fragments of little islands that have other various pieces of sort of rocky debris and such. And you see, sitting on top of some of these, all of them sort of tipping their heads towards you, are large, almost like pelican-like birds. They're white sort of underbellies and then kind of a dark purplish tint to the top of their wings and some of their feathers and the plumage on top of their heads. Their beaks sort of come out long and to a point, and they kind of sort of look at you as you flash through the portal. You can see there's a little like area of frozenness on the ground where you go through. And I will move you. I don't know if everyone's going to be able to see the map or not, but we'll move over to it. And you do see sort of just gently floating around around you in this sort of ethereal space, for lack of a better word. There are like items and random objects just floating about. Everything just seems very nebulous. And you do see off to your right, just sort of floating amidst all of this, one of the acolytes. Just sort of slowly like rotating there. Doesn't appear to be moving other than his rotation. And at the far side, the far end, there appears to be sort of like a door or something, which is maybe another portal, sort of glowing with energy.
I will attempt to return from whence I came.
All right. You turn back and step through, and back you step through the portal.
This is nightmare land on the other side. Giant storks, and floating cultists. No real world or earth, just a fragment of a building. And another portal, maybe? If this creature is there, it is well past the terrain I was on, possibly into another plane from this plane. It feels like a journey, not a destination that we're starting.
All right, well then we might as well just all go on the journey together.
Yes, I only have like 9.5 minutes left on this shield. of fate.
Okay, all right.
Let's please.
I
come in.
pat Goliath on the back.
Let's go.
We go through the portal.
And
Go
I
through the portal.
return through the portal.
All right. Can I get a marching order?
Goliath will go first again because he has the shield and feels.
Roost will go second. He has a shield.
Do you want to go? Okay. Then I will go third.
And I will go last. You gotta put the tank in the back.
I think that's how tanks work.
You think you're going last, but the catfolk is going last. What? No.
Right. And back through you go. You see one of these birds has... All of the birds seem to have moved closer. One of the smaller ones is just like standing there looking up.
Oh, is this like a medium-sized creature, big bird?
Yeah.
Oh.
The small ones are still quite
Still
large.
medium-sized big, yeah.
Yeah. And the big
Oh,
ones
like-
are like... their wingspan is probably, like 15, 20,
Horrifying
20
birds.
feet. Yeah. And their beaks are like, this long.
Racing birds.
They do,
They look at Groose.
they do
Sack.
a little bit closer. You can see that the feathers, sort of on the tops of their wings, do sort of shimmer and glitter. There's little spots of energy here. As something sort of gleaming catches your eye off to the left, and then there's just this sort of like swirling,
Oh, that's Groose.
swirling mass of almost like metal that catches your eyes, and it's this very slow sort of progression of hundreds of coins just sort of heading past you. Collection of sort of ordinary looking weapons. There's weird sort of decayed hand of something. Numerous empty vials.
Just the hand of Vecna.
Yeah.
Floats by with a thumbs up.
Couple of looks like remnants or pieces of armor, just all in this one big mass that just sort of tumble by you.
I look at the bird. Does
Let's
It
find
looks
out
at
if it's
you.
aggressive.
the bird look at me with an eye of intelligence, or with the eyes of a bird?
Neither of its eyes seem to have intelligence behind them.
One is
Not
really
bad.
smart, but the other.
The other one's real dumb.
Will you be our friend? Specifically, my friend.
Monk!
I
That's
must
a,
destroy these things. My god has just commanded it.
Bruce would like to try and pet the bird.
Monk! It sort
Pet
of scampers back away
bird.
from you.
Yep.
And then the big one over here sort of like flutters its wings, kind of does this a little bit as it leans its head in on you. And you just hear a much
Bruce
deeper
is-
like Monk!
Friend. Ghost. Monk.
Right. Ignore the birds unless they become hostile. If this is indeed where this creature is reconstituting, then the birds would likely be its food.
Monk!
Monk.
All right, out of the way, dinner.
This one sort of flutters over and lands here. Monk!
Excuse me, there's a bird. We need to go this way. Squeeze past.
Sort of turns and walks around in a little circle in its space. Monk!
Okay, this.
Monk!
Bruce mimics this circle walking in frustration. You're in the way.
The larger bird starts walking in a circle as well.
Ah!
All right, we're all orbiting now.
If there's a chance to go into the square diagonal north of the bird, I will.
You can, yes.
Okay. Also-
Excuse me.
Is gravity feeling normal, or are we doing like moonwalk bouncing?
It's a little weird. You are sort of stuck to this area that you're on. However, you do get this
It
like weird
appears
sort of
that- Just when you leave it.
Yeah, it looks like, or you do feel like the thing you're on, you're all sort of like tumbling weirdly together. So it's like you get the sense that the conventional laws of physics probably aren't in effect here, so that if you leave it, you don't really know what would happen.
And I'm a physicist too. Dang it. Wow.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Big Bird. Move time. We must go through here.
I will carefully move to this square, trying not to fall off the edge.
All right. You break some rocks off. One of them sort of tumbles down away. Another one sort of floats up, going.
I'll make haste to this next one.
Squeeze. Make haste.
This one opens its, as you start to move by, the large one opens its beak and sort of just places it over your head.
No. No.
First, I think you made a friend.
Grist pets the bird.
Quick, Bruce, sick Eloise on it.
All right.
Friend. Friend.
As
Friend. No eat.
as you say friend, the beak closes down on top of your head.
Not
I
friend,
would like
not
all
friend.
of you to roll initiative.
Not
I don't want to fight the birds.
Monk!
I'm glad we have to destroy these, but I'm sad that we have to.
I feel like
I'm
multiple fights have started now with creatures like trying to eat Groot's head.
You just have a very delectable looking face.
Oh, that's not good.
It's the kind of initiative I would expect from a wrong godder.
A wrong gutter.
Listen here, you little heathen. Keep your McGlubian news to yourself.
It's McGloobia.
There we go.
Also, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do have to get up for work in the morning.
Yes, we are.
After the
going
combat, we can end.
We are going to end here, as this is clearly exactly what you all thought was going to happen.
Exactly.
The birds are a surprise.
Totally.
Cool. Well, whoa, you're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
Living on a prayer.
Oh, living on a plane.
Stare.
Bird
Cool.
has eaten my head.
Monk.
Monk.
How long you been sitting on that sound?
I literally just made it up. I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
I don't need to plan any sounds. They come out. Cool. Well, thank you all for enjoying all of this. I'm just going to assume you are. And we will see what will happen next week. The epic conclusion of the last Paget. Been saying it wrong
Joie.
all this time. Cool.
Joie.
So if you would like to catch up on previous 12 episodes of The Last Paget, I've been saying it wrong this whole time, you can do so on YouTube. Just search for Roll20 Spotlight. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. On YouTube and find it. You can also find there previous episodes of our other shows, which one of them occurs bi-week monthly on Wednesdays, DM'd by Dor. Been saying it wrong
It's
this
me.
whole time.
Oh.
At 7:30 Eastern time. There will not be a game this week, but there will next week.
Wait, what?
It's every other week. Wednesdays happen. I know it's hard to process, but if you're more into the weekly jam, then boy, do I have a treat for you. Leon's and Krause is on Thursday.
Kraus.
I've been saying
Kraus.
it wrong this whole
This
time.
time.
I apologize.
45
I really
episodes.
really should do that. That is a high level campaign where all sorts of team cooperation and camaraderie has been built up, and
No,
we
that's not
work
true
as
at
we work as a very highly
Seamless team.
efficient machine to accomplish our objectives, and definitely not constantly just make enemies from everyone. That is DM'd by Tumla. Been saying it wrong this whole time. That actually
You
is
actually
first
have
date.
been saying it wrong the whole time. That's
Um,
not inaccurate.
7:30 Eastern time again. At least we're consistent in our times. On Thursday, which is coming up in but a few days. So tune in and you will see what will happen there. And again, on Mondays, the last Paget. Saying it wrong this whole time.
The whole time.
Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Roll20.net, for all of these cool opportunities your virtual tabletop brings us. I'm going to play a little bit more with animated maps and see if we can't, win the special effects Oscar for best supporting virtual tabletop background map content for a D&D 5th edition
Landed.
game.
Landed.
So, you heard Anomaly from Kevin MacLeod. You also heard Thunder Dreams, Virtuts Vocis, definitely been saying that correctly, Virtuts Instrumenti, Darkest Child, Mist on the Moor, played a lot of stuff tonight, Evening Fall, parentheses, piano, and parentheses. What else did we have? Day of Chaos. We also had Stay the Course. And I think that's about it. Yeah, so thank you, Kevin MacLeod, for letting us play all of those things for free. Check us out on Twitter at RollItSlant or rollitslant.com if you like archaic website content. Destined to become the next Space Jam. Cool. Anyone got anything else?
No.
Well then, thank you all for watching, and we will see you on Thursday. Oh wait, Thrust Day. Saying it wrong
This whole time.
Mug!